And 95.3.
Cornerstown is a pigskin paradise.
KERX, Paris Fort Smith.
He has to do to slow down number 5 here in the second half.
Sure, he's all man. We've got to tackle his butt. We've got an 8-man front. We need to do that better when he gets in the as a quarterback is when he's kicking our tail right now. We'll figure it out inside here.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but they ain't but one razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
How are you going to rebound this week against the Tennessee Volunteers? What do they need to do to overcome the loss to the Texas A&M Aggies this week? 877-377-6963. What part of the game, what specific aspect is most important for them to beat Tennessee on Saturday night in Fayetteville? That's where we'll start this morning here on the Morning Rush. However you may be listening this morning, we really appreciate it. HitThatLine.com, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch for our video stream. Smart speaker, just say play ESPN Arkansas. The TuneIn app, whatever radio station you're listening to, we're all over the place, y'all, every single morning. We are going to have Brett Good. He's going to join us actually at 8 o'clock this morning instead of the usual 7:15. Eric Ainge, Tennessee quarterback, texted me this morning at like 5 a.m. He is now going to join us at 7:15 on Friday. So a little change of pace as far as that goes. But really excited this morning on a What's Your Beef Wednesday. What part do you think is most important for them to bounce back?
Well, I wonder how much their confidence is shaken. I don't think much because they didn't get embarrassed. They didn't go down there and lay an egg, and they played strong into the fourth quarter. So I don't think mentally this coaching staff has a big mountain to climb to get them over last week's loss. I think how do you get around another team, and how do you get pressure on a quarterback with a team with a good offensive line? That's another challenge you have again this week that's common to the opponent you had last week. So if you look at that, it was the best offensive line you played to date this year. Georgia might end up having a better one at the end of the year. You could make an argument, but they weren't week one. And I think that to me is one thing you got to fix. Now, defensively, obviously you didn't do a very good job of covering the pass catchers. I fall short of saying wide receivers based on who was catching them.
Yeah, literally.
But it's Weidemeyer and Smith. You know, you just look at who was catching, but they're pass catchers. You've got to do a better job with that, and I think they will do a better job for a couple of different reasons this week.
And you mentioned the sacks total. Remember,
starting with
Texas A&M has only given up 2 sacks this season. They didn't give a single one up to Alabama or Florida or Arkansas. Now, Tennessee has given up 11 this year, which isn't like a great deal based on the games they played, but it's still a lot worse than what Texas A&M has done this season. That Texas A&M offensive line might be the best in the Southeastern Conference based on the way they played. And Kellen Mond looks spectacular. I don't expect Jarrett Garantano to have the same performance on Saturday night. We might see a little Harrison Bailey. Again, remember, they are coming off a bye week, so they have a lot of time of preparation, of game planning for Arkansas. A lot of Vols fans have been advocating for Jim Chaney, the offensive coordinator, to give Harrison Bailey a shot, who was at one time the number 3 pro-style quarterback in his recruiting class. And Jared just has not performed, and it's been one of those things where for quite some time, you're just, if as a Tennessee Volunteers fan, you're just kind of sick of seeing what looks to be ineptness at a certain point at the quarterback position.
Yeah, well, if anyone knows about quarterback ineptness, it's Arkansas. The last 2 years, it's been a world of difference this year at the QB spot. But hey, you don't even know what ineptness is over there in Tennessee compared to what we've dealt with at Arkansas the last 2 seasons in particular. So we could, whatever pain you're feeling, we felt it
tenfold.
Tenfold, exactly. Yeah. So we know about that. But yeah, that's one thing that you feel like your secondary and just your back eight, if you will play better this week because you're not playing as good a quarterback. Or you certainly hope that with a bye week, the quarterback play, and Philip Garantano doesn't get it all figured out. That's the thing. You got to play a team. This is the last time you'll play a team coming off a bye. 2 weeks in a row, you'll play a team with 2 weeks to prepare. Hopefully that 2 weeks doesn't have an extra dividend.
And we mentioned that Arkansas game planned a little bit for Tennessee, not this past Sunday along, but also with the Sunday before the previous Sunday. So they got a little bit in, but no practice across the board in the SEC on Tuesday because of voting stuff. So it'll be interesting to see if that plays into the game between Arkansas and Tennessee, if one team looks more prepared than the other when it comes to the Vols having more time. But another part you could talk about, while the offense looked a lot better against Texas A&M, particularly in the rushing attack, the defense just got trampled over. The no-fly zone needs to come back against Tennessee. Jarrett Garantano has thrown some interceptions this season. That offense has not looked that good. You should be able to get a couple turnovers in this football game. We were talking before the program. You forced turnovers in these wins. You're going to need to do that again on Saturday night.
Yeah, and that's we were talking before the show, that's the one area when you look at the common denominators, there's some things in the box scores or just some obvious points from the 2 wins and even some of the losses. You forced interceptions. It's not really been as much about forcing fumbles, although you've had a few of those. A&M was clean in that area. I mean, the game was clean in that area. You've got to be able to get Jonathan Marshall driving the center back into the quarterback, making him uncomfortable, closing down his field of vision. So you force mistakes, and that's one of the elements of why the secondary, not the only element, but one of the elements of why the secondary was not as effective on Saturday in College Station. You got to have that come back. Will that happen? I don't know. Tennessee's got a pretty good offensive line in their own right. So can that defensive line led by Jonathan Marshall in the middle, that inside technique, get that A-gap push, close that down, force a double team, put pressure on Garantano and make him uncomfortable. That's been what happened to Costello. That's what happened to Corral. That's what did not happen to Kellen Mond.
And when you look at Garantano's performances so far this season, he's already feeling the heat of his own fan base and his coaching staff, that he knows that if he continues to make mistakes, he's going to get yanked. Now, I know that publicly Jeremy Pruitt has said Jared Garantano is our guy. He's our quarterback. He gives us the best chance to win. But he hasn't to this point. And you mentioned the Vols offensive line. It's going to be very important for Arkansas to attack them in a variety of different ways and stop the run, unlike they did against Texas A&M, so you can force Garantano into passing situations. And on as far as they go on the other side, the rushing attack for Arkansas, when you busted 200-plus yards against the Aggies, Rakeem Boyd goes for 100 yards, you need to continue that. Tennessee gives up an average of 153 rushing yards per game this season. You need to get over that number and have some productive offense as you did on Saturday night against Texas A&M.
Yeah, but let's also keep in mind the numbers and when they happened. Tennessee looked like world beaters early in the year. Why? Because they played South Carolina and Missouri. They looked good in their first 2 games, right? Keep in mind the defenses they've played the last 3. We made this point yesterday on the show. I think it's worth repeating. Georgia, Kentucky, and Alabama, maybe the 3 best defenses in that order, are their last 3 opponents in that order. Some of what Garantano's been going through is for that reason right there. Look at who you've played. Georgia, Kentucky, and Alabama have the 3 best defenses in the league, and it's probably Arkansas may be 4th. They may have been in that conversation defensively until this last week. Can Arkansas play on the level those other 3 were playing at when Tennessee had to face them? That's the key.
It's going to be important.
Yeah, so some of their numbers can be explained by the opponent. Hey, is your home in Arkansas at least 10 years old and served by OG&E? They have a no-cost program to increase your comfort and to lower your bills. They have trained crews that will perform an energy audit at your home at no cost. And if your home qualifies, they'll come back with measures like attic insulation, LED light bulbs, weather stripping, power strips, smoke alarms, carbon monoxide detectors, and a whole lot more. And this is a no-charge program for qualifying homes. So if you or someone you know could benefit from the home weatherization program, Call OG&E today, 1-800-272-9741. That's 1-800-272-9741.
Lynn lives in Knoxville and says the game is winnable, and the fan base has been melting down around him in Knoxville. Not surprised to see that.
Winnable or gettable? It's a key word right there, huh?
I guess.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
Hey, this is former Razorback Jake Beckett, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
When you want a beer, you go to a bar. When you want top shelf spirits, wines, handcrafted cocktails, and cigars in an atmosphere befitting a destination, you go to 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Try our new menu items, including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, or stick to your favorites. Dine in or carry out. Enjoy our state-of-the-art air filtration system. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open at 4 Tuesday through Saturday.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time, every time.
Your voice lets him know he's safe. Shelter Insurance does the same for you. Roadside assistance is now included with your auto policy. So if your car leaves you stranded, just call and we'll take care of you while you take care of what's most important. Find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. Wear your shield, wear your shelter. Some restrictions apply.
Ask Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith or Jim Malum in Charleston about Shelter's home insurance.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Did you invest in real estate only to find out that real estate takes up too much of your time? If you answered yes, then it's time to make a call to the experts. With more than 30 years of combined property management experience and more than 16,000 units managed, Trinity Multifamily are the ones to call. Get your life back. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
The best TV experience in the nation is available locally with personal service from WOW World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional Dish authorized retailer. Dish has the Hopper 3, the most advanced DVR, and delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recording anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now, WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474 for more details, or visit us online at shopwownow.com. Get the Hopper 3 today by calling WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474 or online at shopwownow.com.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device. World of Wireless has moved just a few miles east, next to Frank Rowe Furniture in Barling. Deer hunters, it's prime time.
and the Deerwoods are the place to be. Jelco Outdoors has all the supplies and gear to make your hunt one to remember. Men's, women's, and children's boots and clothing to keep you warm and dry. Tree stands, scents, calls, safety vest, firearms, archery. Jelco has it all for you. Best of luck to all hunters. Stay safe and remember, a great hunt begins at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
ESPN 95.3.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Third goal. Frank's going to dump it at the goal line. Complete. Touchdown, Arkansas. Touchdown, Traylon Smith.
Video streaming live on Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube.
The only thing that I watch on Facebook is The Morning Rush. That's it.
Gonna get a chance to talk with Tennessee quarterback Eric Ainge on Friday at 7:15. He was gonna come on this morning, but is donating blood, so he's gonna be pushed back this week to Friday at 7:15. I want to ask him if we expect to see multiple quarterbacks on Saturday night for the Tennessee Volunteers. I think you're just gonna expect Arkansas, and like you mentioned earlier, the merry-go-round we know about as Arkansas Sports Talk radio host. It's still a lot more than anything Tennessee is going to advocate for this season.
Well, I'll give you a thought on that in just a minute. Hey, we're brought to you by World of Wireless. Their 25th year anniversary is coming up. We're going to be celebrating with them soon. We'll be heading over to World of Wireless this month to bring you the Morning Rush live from there and help them celebrate 25 years. They're giving away a Google Hub with a new Hopper 3 activation. So if you sign up for Dish with a Hopper system, you get the Google Hub system included at no extra charge. So we'll be telling you more about all of their 25th year anniversary specials that they're going to have going on. November's going to be a big month and a great time to sign up for a lot of free extras. They're going to be giving away some great gift cards and a lot of other great items. Ben and his crew, want to congratulate them. 25 years in anything's hard enough. Being a coach, being on the radio, staying in business, what else? Marriage. 25 years, a long time. To do anything. So congratulations to World of Wireless. This month celebrating 25 years. Call them at 877-305-DISH. So you mentioned two quarterbacks. In the answer, well, as long as Garantano ain't throwing picks, he's probably staying in the game. But I would imagine that leash is, right down to the collar, man. There's no chain on this leash. So is there going to be two quarterbacks? Well, is he going to throw any picks? That'd be my follow-up on that.
He threw 3 already this season, so that's not like a gross number. It's not like Jameis Winston-type numbers, but his production is definitely decreased than when he started initially, as you mentioned, against South Carolina and Missouri. To his credit, the defenses he had to go against Georgia's defense, which is one of, if not the best defense in the SEC. You've also had to play Kentucky and then Alabama. Yeah. So that's one of those things where it's like, well, you're playing it tough. I mean, and you're hoping that Arkansas is still in that category where it's a very tough defense to go at. But the key for this football game is going to come down to, is Tennessee's offensive line able to push Arkansas around like Texas A&M was? Because Kellen Mond had all day to throw. Anais Smith and Isaiah Spiller had everywhere to run. You can't have that on Saturday if you're going to win this football game and force turnovers. I expect that there's at least going to be a thought that Bailey plays. I guarantee you that Jim Chaney and Jeremy Pruitt have been at least implementing some sort of that in this extra bye week that they've had to prepare for the Arkansas Razorback.
You mentioned the interceptions. I just got the team numbers here. They've thrown 4, and all of them came in 2 games, 1 against Georgia, 3 against Kentucky, 0 against Alabama in their last game. So,
Garantano threw a pick 6 against Kentucky. Bailey came in and then threw a pick 6, followed that up.
You had one game in between all of that ugliness that you played pretty well against a team that, from a reputation, is known as the best defense. I think we agree that Alabama doesn't have the best defense this year, but they're still, in that conversation. They're no pushover by any means. And you played well, from not turning the ball over standpoint. Now you still got your brains beat in 48-17. One thing I was noting to you during the break is, your first 2 weeks against South Carolina and Missouri, you averaged 33 points for Tennessee. The last 3 ball games against those better defenses, that production's been cut down to 15 points on the average. So, big difference the last 3 weeks just based on that. So
Playing better defenses, that does that to you.
But
so.
they've been cut in over half. So that's one thing that you've got to figure out. And obviously you can't turn the ball over and get to the end zone. So, I mean, that's pretty basic. So they got to figure this out.
And you brought up earlier this year the quarterback's mindset after Matt Corral throws those 6 interceptions. That didn't seem to affect Kellen Mond whatsoever, and that was more about the offensive line giving him years to throw the football. But I wonder, with the pressure coming on in Guarantano, if he feels not only that, but also he's looking at this film. It's like, man, if I make a mistake, it's going the other way.
Well, you wonder because he's got a good offensive line. Maybe A&M's is better. I'll leave that to someone like Sam Pittman or Brad Davis to evaluate whose is better. But both are good offensive lines. But he's thrown those picks against Kentucky and Georgia. Was it protection? Was it just taking risks? Those are the things that they got to get him out of, or fix your offensive line. Mond clearly was like in the rocking chair back there. He wasn't worried about a lot of those things. He had time when he did throw.
When you look at Tennessee, you mentioned the defenses they played. They've lost 3 straight games, and a lot of these games, in fact, all of these games have been blowout. You lose 44-21 to Georgia, 34-7 to Kentucky, and then 48-17 to Alabama. Following the Arkansas game, they're going to have to take on Texas A&M in Knoxville and then travel to Auburn. So there's a really tough stretch here coming up for Tennessee. So they really need this win. There's a lot of pressure on Jeremy Pruitt. There was a lot of excitement based on the way how they finished last season, and then you just choke these last couple games. And no one's going to rip you for losing to Alabama or Georgia, but they weren't even close. And then you get blown out at home to Kentucky, whose offense has been atrocious this season. You put up 3 points against Georgia last week. There's a lot of angry fans in Knoxville. I was texting a few buddies that live over there, and they are not happy with Jeremy Pruitt right now, and deservedly so. There was excitement based on, I think they won 7 of their last 8, the last 6, if I remember that correctly, based off last year. This season so far, start out good. It's starting to do a joke, man. They lose to Arkansas on Saturday night.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be people calling for Pruitt's head.
Yeah, and that, one of the things Arkansas is going to have to do to force those turnovers, because the turnovers have been a key to Arkansas winning the 2 games they've won. You're going to have to force them to throw the football, because that's not something they've done. Tennessee rushed it 38 times, didn't get very far against Alabama in their last game. 41 rushes against Kentucky. 27 rushes, got no yards against Georgia. 51 rushes against Missouri and 33 rushes against Tennessee. So, I mean, they're not an exclusive passing team at all. So you're going to have to force them into passing attempts. They were 14 of 25 against Alabama. Didn't throw it a whole lot. That's similar to the numbers that A&M had as far as passing attempts. They had 26 in that ball game.
And you have to force Jerry Guarantano, or if Harrison Bailey ends up checking into the ball game, into passing situations. And you can't, if you get into those passing situations, you can't give up back-breaking third down plays like you did to Kellen Mond. You have to get pressure on Guarantano or Bailey when it comes to Saturday night.
What's one of the first things we talked about Monday morning was Arkansas didn't force a true 3-and-out until the fourth quarter. Well, if that's true again this week, in all likelihood, you're probably going to lose the football game.
Yep, exactly.
Good chance of it. So, hey, if you signed up for the Hardee's Lunch Bunch, we'll claim another winner this Thursday, tomorrow, on halftime. Just go to hitthatline.com. It's easy to do. Click on the Hardee's Lunch Bunch tab. Sign up, give us all your information. Every week, Phil and Matt give you a new winner every Thursday on halftime. So sign up. You can win lunch or breakfast even for you and up to 15 of your coworkers from Hardee's in Northwest Arkansas in the River Valley and ESPN Arkansas.
I want to talk about Felipe Franks coming up here in the program. Jim Nagy, who is the director of the Reese's Senior Bowl, had some great things to say about your quarterback. Where does he rank right now in the SEC? Also, want to talk about the radio presidential election. Who would you vote for? All that is coming up.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
Ty, fortunately, has saved the world and not yet procreated.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Frank Rowe Furniture 6-day only sale, November the 2nd through November the 7th. For instance, this leather sofa in love with powered recliners and headrests, regular $3,600, finance price $29.93, cash price $27.44. Large sectional with ottoman, regular $31.05, finance price $25.57, cash price $23.44. All furniture, bedroom furniture are on sale. Don't miss out. 6 days only at Frank Rowe Furniture. Best seats in the house.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A.m. to 10:30 a.m. 7 days a week. Blue Plate specials served Monday through Friday. And don't forget about 99-cent Pie Tuesday. So whether you're craving some of our great kickin' chicken or one of our world-famous desserts, Miss Anna's is the place to be. 5001 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith, 649-6300. That's 649-6300.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Breen RV in Van Buren is having their last sale of the year. Despite COVID-19's best ever, we are still getting in new trailers in weekly, and they are marked down as soon as they hit the lot. Browse Breen RV's selection of Forest River, Dutchman, Thor, and Coachman products and pick out the best fit for you. You can buy with ease knowing that your new purchase comes with free maintenance for life. Once you're ready to hibernate for the winter, bring your camper into us for deluxe winterization specials, starting at just $99. Breen RV will work on all makes and models, and don't forget that all their accessories are installed for free. The Breen RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business.
Tri-Hill Turf offers the highest quality turf and pest services. Hey, you say those are big words. Well, let's see. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has a company agronomist, state and nationally certified technicians, free soil testing, and they even have precision GPS guided application equipment. Now that's high tech. For over 30 years, Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has used the latest application technology, and they strive for turf and pest excellence. They are your local turf and pest experts. Call the local team at 782-0404. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest.
Oh my gourd, folks. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. This month, I want to say thanks. So I'm on a mission to make car buying easy as pie and help you snag a sweet deal on one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. This month, you could drive a nicer, newer car and save up to $4,150. That's a lot of dough. So if your old ride is flaky, crusty, burnt, or rusty, don't let it squash your happiness. Trade it for a nicer, newer car now, even if you still owe money, and save up to $4,150. Plus, my For the People approval process makes financing your nicer, newer car easy as pie. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Deals this delicious won't last long, so visit us today at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Franks off play action, fakes to Smith. He's going to throw left side into the end zone. It's complete. Touchdown, Arkansas. Devion Warren hauls it in.
Streaming live at hitthatline.com.
Get into some quick-hitting headlines coming up here on the Morning Rush, including where Arkansas is against the spread following the firing of Chad Morris.
Yeah. Hey, we're brought to you by Ouachita Farms. All Ouachita Farms CBD products are made right here in Arkansas. You can read all about them and see the variety of products they have at WouachitaFarms.com. They're all natural, no additives, made from 100% USA-grown hemp. They have a lab process they go through with all of their products, and they post all of those results right on their website. So you can read all about it right there again at WouachitaFarms.com. Hey, if you or someone you know have been wanting to try CBD products, they have gift cards that are available, perfect for the holidays. It's always great to make a thoughtful gift for the holiday season, and you can buy those online at WouachitaFarms.com. Family-owned right here in Arkansas. Their products are in 200 different stores. You can stop in and see their main location at 3958 Highway 7 North in Hot Springs Village. Use the code WPS15 at checkout. That's WPS15 at checkout for a great discount when you go to WouachitaFarms.com. That's WouachitaFarms.com.
Andrew Hutchinson's of Hogbeat put this out yesterday that Arkansas is now 7-0 against spread. Not just 5-0 in the season, but 7-0 against the spread after firing Chad Morris. And that just is a staggering, wild stat to me. I was joking with Chris Marler yesterday. If you're going to bet on the Razorbacks, I would suggest betting. I think the line's I think it's gotten down to like 1.5 now between the Vols and the Razorbacks. Vols still favored in this one.
I wonder how much some of that is just the public sentiment is Arkansas is no good. Just the public opinion, not just here but nationally, going back to those two games in the first 5 this year. In the opinion of the program hadn't been too high, so therefore the line's been set maybe too far to begin with, and then it's had to been bet down. So that's why Arkansas has that record you mentioned at 7-0.
Yeah.
So particularly this year, when you were trying to set an early line, you didn't have a good feel for who this team is, and since then Arkansas has just been better. Obviously, they had the 2 wins that were upset wins technically against Ole Miss and Mississippi State. Some of that's just because the original line's been off half a touchdown or more.
We always do our weekly or daily Cowboys update here on the Quick Hitting Headlines.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Jenkins, not only did Andy Dalton have a concussion last week, now he is on the COVID list this week. Your weeks just keep getting better, don't they?
Yep, and I genuinely do look forward to this every morning at 6:30 for my Cowboys update from Ty Richardson. It makes my day a whole lot better. Yeah, I think it's just with the concussion protocol, and I think they've combined the COVID and IR list. So I don't know if he necessarily has COVID, right?
I think it was like close contact or something.
Okay.
I just know he's been. I
saw the list too. I didn't read it.
I didn't look too deeply into it. I just know he's on the COVID list.
Contact tracing.
Yeah,
right.
That if I had to guess, that probably has something to do with it.
And I think they're wearing the wristbands like we see in the SEC and other places. So the NBA, I think, first used that technology. So they know who you've been around based on the contact tracing of these bands that they're wearing. So.
You're riding with Gucci Danucci, huh?
Well, there was that, and then there was reports yesterday that they were talking about moving up Cooper Rush from the practice squad and get him started.
Why does that name sound familiar? Where did he play college ball at? Cooper Rush.
I can't
over
remember.
Gilbert?
I think that's right. I can't remember right offhand, but he was the Cowboys' backup for a short period of time previous season, so he's got the experience in the Cowboys' offensive system, and going to be interesting to kind of see where this
Central Michigan is where he played college football at. Interesting. Okay, well, I guess we'll keep an eye on that. John Lester, who's a former pitcher of the Chicago Cubs, Boston Red Sox this week, and I thought this was kind of cool. I think he was retiring in Chicago or whatever, and so he decided as kind of a last goodwill gesture to all his favorite Cub fans, he bought beer for them all. Bought $47,000 worth of beer this weekend for Cubs fans. He just said, put it on my tab. Each of them, they got their first beer on John Lester. So props to John Lester for doing that this weekend. I thought that was kind of cool.
That's quite a round on the house, you know.
Seriously, 40. He just said, put the tab on John, and everyone that walked in, I think it was 4 bars, and they got to put their first beer on John Lester, which I thought was kind of cool.
Cool. So, yeah. Well, I mean that when you show your appreciation, particularly in a place like Chicago, that's one way they will remember your sign and your showing of appreciation is to pick up the bar tab.
Yeah, exactly. All right, coming up in the program, we're going to dive into this Felipe Franks conversation in just one sec, but I want you to vote on this. I know we got voting going on right now. I want you to vote if we assembled a radio presidential team, who would you vote on? Would you vote on Richardson Kraft? Would you vote on Elson Jenkins? Would you vote on Elson Travis? Or would you vote on Ruskin Arns? That is the 4 team candidates that you have. It's on our Facebook. It's on our Twitter. Go vote. Call and tell us. Tell us why you would or wouldn't vote for a specific radio team within our Hit That Line and ESPN radio network here at ESPN Arkansas. Why specifically you'd vote for these guys. Why specifically you wouldn't vote. It's going to be fun. We'll have some fun with that coming up. 877-377-6963. But first, I want to dive into this Felipe Franks stuff. So Jim Nagy, who's the director of the Senior Bowl, tweeted about Franks yesterday. He said that he's kind of generating some draftable buzz. He has high-end physical traits that's always made some wow-type throws, and this year he's playing steadier and getting strong endorsements from the Arkansas staff. Now, we know about Felipe's just arm talent. We saw it at Florida. We've seen the throws that he can make. There was always just a concern about consistency and the interceptions. Well, Tommy's not forcing throws this year. You would like him to throw the ball away a little more, so he's definitely toned that down a little bit where he's not trying to make every single play. And he's looked good this year. 11 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He has a high completion percentage in the mid-60s. I think he's been really steady for this Arkansas football team, and yet I'm still seeing fans say they want to see Hornsby a little bit. They want to see KJ Jefferson a little bit, and it just boggles my mind why you think that.
Well, because you don't understand the correlation between his play, or you're not factoring in. I won't say you don't understand. That's too far. You're not factoring in the correlation between his play and that offensive line, because if you ranked 1 through 14 the offensive lines in this league, I think if you had someone with real eyes and real assessment ability on this, you're going to probably find Arkansas is not just in the bottom half, but the bottom third of the league right now on the offensive line category. Is that fair? So the quarterback right now is also, it's a function of where you're at with offensive line. So they're having to do some things with play calling, do some things with where he's at. You mentioned the injury he had a year ago. You know, I'm sure they're still trying to get comfortable and confident with dealing with that and knowing, hey, it's going to hold up. But I still come back to the offensive line. He's doing what he's doing, which, hey, no one's trying to make the case he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but statistically you're trying to say he's top half, and that's what the stats bear out right now. Where would he be if he had a top half offensive line? Because I don't think he does.
No, he doesn't at all. And that's one of the questions you have is, like, can he have enough protection around him to put up the types of statistics? And you pointed out the statistics I have. If you look at his SEC statistics, he's top 6 in QB rating, completion percentage, passing yards per game, touchdown passes, interceptions thrown, and rushing yards. He almost busted 100 yards against Texas A&M. Would have done that if not for the sacks yardage that counts as negative against you in college. So he is, like, if you look, bearing out the statistics, he is a top half quarterback in the SEC, and that was one of the questions we have. The guys you would take above him, like even Kellen Mond, as good as he played on Saturday night, Felipe goes 23 for 31, and I think Kellen went 21 for 26.
Right.
They both had 3 touchdowns.
Well, he didn't have to throw it as much.
Yeah,
but.
and they both had over 200 throwing yards, passing yards. So it's not like even with a much better offensive line, it's not like Kellen just superbly outplayed Felipe Franks, right?
That's pretty darn good.
Did Felipe not look really good in that situation too? On the road, 23 of 31.
Hey, I know
3
you're
touchdowns.
sticking up for your guy, but 21 to 26 is pretty sharp.
But no arguments there. He played right, and first thing I said Monday morning is I was wrong about Kellen Mond, but that had a lot to do with him having 10 seconds to throw the ball every single down, right?
Absolutely.
When
That was the point I was making is, and that's not just how much time do you have play in, play out. That's a mental mindset. Where are you at with your confidence on each and every play? Because there's a limit to what you can do as a quarterback based on that line.
Mm-hmm.
So Mon clearly has a level of confidence and a level of comfort that I don't think Felipe Franks operates with.
So what quarterbacks are you taking over Felipe Franks in this league?
Well, where do you put Mac Jones right now at Alabama? The numbers are pretty outstanding. I don't have Alabama's numbers right in front of me, but I can just tell you by watching that game, knowing what he did against Ole Miss, which was, I think he threw for a mile in that ball game. How do you evaluate him? Coming into the year, no one said, "Boy, Mac Jones is going to be one of the top quarterbacks."
Yeah, everyone had to lose his job to Bryce Young.
Right, but statistically, he's up there in that conversation. So where do you put him? He's certainly got to be there. Kyle Trask, he's another one that you'd certainly want to put in the conversation amongst the best in this league right now. Who am I? I'm missing someone obvious. I'm trying to think about. I'm running just through the roster in my head here, but I want to bring up Jones. I want to bring up Jones first because I don't think he got a lot of attention going into the year, but statistically, he's right there with everybody so far.
Let me do this. I'll name a quarterback for each team, and you say if Felipe's above him or not. Mac Jones.
Yes, he's above him right now.
As in Mac's above Felipe.
Yes.
Okay. Bo Nix.
Push.
That's fair. Kyle Trask.
Above.
Stetson Bennett the fourth.
I'd take Franks. Below.
Miles Brennan.
Below.
Which we've seen.
I mean, he's been injured. Off the board. I'd take that off the board right now.
KJ Costello.
I'd say below. I mean, he had the one great game for 623 against LSU. That doesn't hold up any longer.
Yep.
Take Franks over him.
Jared Garantano.
Push right now. I need to see this Saturday. I know you're 4 receptions. Listen, they were in 2 ball games. He had 3 of them, and they were against some of the best defense. Let's just see what happens this week.
Okay.
So I'm gonna withhold judgment on that.
Not even going to list Vanderbilt's quarterback. Kellen Mond.
Mond won. He gets the edge.
I think that's fair. Matt Corral.
This
is a hairier situation.
I think Corral by a nose right now because they've been consistent. He played very well against Alabama. I think Corral in that, but not by much. So.
Okay. I think it's Sean Blazak, something Blazak from Missouri.
Yeah. I haven't watched enough of them to know. I wouldn't have a good opinion. I think he's going to be. You look at the way they've played and some of the teams they played. I couldn't really give you an assessment on him individually.
Terry Wilson.
Ooh, Kentucky's so defensive based. I'll pass on that one too. I'd probably go with Franks because Kentucky offensively hadn't set the world on fire. How's Kentucky winning ball games? Kentucky's winning it with their defense.
So you had him pushing against Nix. You had him pushing against Jared Garantano. The only guys you had above him were Corral, Mond, Jones, and Trask. Mm-hmm. So that puts him in about the 5, 6, 7 category where you have it. Where does statistics bear out?
QB rating is 5th in the league right now. So that's about right.
That's about right. And that is the question we asked several of you.
And is Blazek over at Missouri, he may be right there. Statistically, probably is.
I almost called him ball something, but I refrained this morning.
But they're probably right. He's probably right in that conversation. Statistically, if you want to look at like league statistics. But I just haven't drilled down and watched enough Missouri football this year so far.
JT in Hot Springs texts in. He says, if you're unhappy with how Franks is playing, then you have unrealistic expectations. He's better than most thought he would play. Compared to the last 2 years, I am just happy with Felipe Franks. JT, you could not get on board more with me and tell me that. Because we asked the question several times over and over and over again. Hey, where does Felipe need to be with this offense as a quarterback in this league in order for Arkansas to have a chance? Well, he's shown he's a top 6, top 7 SEC quarterback based on statistics. Now, there's 5 games left. We'll see what happens. He's played better on the road than he has at home. He's got a great chance to have his home-defining moment at Arkansas Saturday night against the Tennessee defense that isn't full of world beaters. They have some good recruits, and they have some good recruits coming in, but this defense that Jeremy Pruitt has is not just blow the doors off. It's not like you're having Clemson's old 4 first-round defensive line draft picks running at you. You can get after Tennessee on Saturday night.
Yeah, and, the question is, if you think Arkansas's defense is somewhere near what Georgia, Kentucky, and Alabama, if it's next, let me just read you how many yards Tennessee got against those 3, all right? Georgia, Tennessee only gained 214 yards of total offense, 287 against Kentucky, and 302 against Alabama. So can you be somewhere around the high, and those 3 was 302? Can you keep Tennessee, let's just say, below 350 and keep their point? Because against those 3 teams, they average 15 points as an offense. I think they'll do better than that against Arkansas. But can you keep them in the 20s and their yardage somewhere in the 300s, below 350? That'll prove where your defense is at. But I think that's what you're going to have to do to probably, to have a comfortable win against Tennessee.
Let's open up the phones on this 877-377-6963. Jared in Russellville, home of the Cyclones, wants to hop in on the conversation. Jared, you were on the Morning Rush.
Hey, good morning, guys. And yeah, it's a good day to be a Cyclone always. But hey, guys, I was gonna jump in on this Frank's conversation. I think that what people don't realize is that if Burks is not getting separation, or he's a decoy on a particular play, which he sometimes, if you watch a lot of our games, a lot of our offense, he is a decoy a lot of the times. We're not getting separation from hardly anybody else besides Bourne as a receivers. So I think that has to play in it, and also, like you said, the offensive line is going to get better under Sam, but it's not there yet. It's still under the bottom third of the SEC.
Right.
And one thing I will say about Franks is this: he is a gamer. Like, he's tough. He gets hit, he bounces back up. He just really is a guy that you want to be able to play with. I mean, he's a teammate that, I mean, if you listen to him in interviews, he never says anything bad about anyone else on the team. He's just a good ball. He really is a good quarterback for Arkansas this year, and hopefully, I mean, I know he talked about him having pro prospects next year. Hopefully, he comes back next year and puts up numbers again. He raises that draft stock a little bit better. But yeah, I'm all for Franks and people that talk about, fans that are talking about him being replaced should just watch the last 3 years of a quarterback play. So y'all be blessed. Have a great day.
Jared, great call this morning. If you go back to the previous game that Arkansas played in against Ole Miss, after the conclusion of that football game, Felipe had more touchdowns than any quarterback on Arkansas's roster last year. Think about that. Through 4 SEC games, he had more touchdowns than Ben Hicks, Nick Starkel, or anyone else on that roster. That just shows you that you have at least somewhat of a competent. And I'm really leveling off that because he's more than just a competent quarterback. You got to remember, guys, this offensive line has been a little disappointing so far this season. Who does that directly affect the most? The quarterback.
Right.
Whether it's handoff, whether it's throwing the football, dropping back to pass. It has not been what we expected in year one. That doesn't mean it can't get there. It just hasn't been up to snuff in year number one so far.
So if you swap, what they call them, the Maroon Monsters, isn't that what they were calling them Saturday? If you swapped A&M's O-line for Arkansas's O-line, if you were just able to do that, what would Arkansas's record be right now? I'd say it's 4-1. I still don't think you beat Georgia week 1 with it, but I think that's the difference right now in a couple of ball games. I think you win probably comfortably, and I say comfortably, 10-ish at Auburn. You win the game Saturday against A&M for sure. So, I mean, now all of a sudden you find yourself in a whole different conversation, and that's the difference. And I think Arkansas will get there. Don't you feel like in the next next season or the season after that, by Sam's second into the third year, you're going to have an offensive line that's able to perform at a comparable level to what we saw with A&M?
I hope so. I don't know. I hope so. I hope you're right.
Another recruiting class, another year of development, another year of off-season weight room. You got to remember, these guys didn't have spring practice either.
Mm-hmm.
So
got guys like Eli Henderson, Jalen St. John, Marcus. I'm mixing up Eli and Marcus Henderson, but there's guys that you've either started recruiting that have committed, or guys that are already on the roster that are true freshmen. You're excited about their potential. I mean, I hope.
Yeah, I mean that's the goal. I mean, Sam didn't Sam's never been around a program long that didn't have good offensive lines. This is kind of, I don't say uncharted waters for him, because I can't go back and pinpoint every offensive line he's ever coached, but I would imagine he's had a lot more that have operated at a level much higher than this over the course of his career. That's why he is in the spot he's in. I just have full faith and confidence he's going to get that offensive line at a level that's comparable to what we saw with A&M in the next 2 years or so.
Text out of Travis, he said, I think Franks is really good, but I think people want to see the other guys because they're concerned with next year's quarterback. Why are you concerned about next year? We should be worried about this year. Like, that's the idea, that you should be thinking ahead, and that should be more of a priority than next year, I think, is a little. And Travis, I agree.
Wants the next thing.
I agree with you. I just don't. I don't understand that line of thinking from people that actually think that. Brandon from Paris texted in. He said Franks should get bonus points because the O-line he has is not comparable to the other quarterbacks above him. That's another good point, Brandon. That's why his numbers: 11 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, top 6 in most passing statistical categories. Plus, he's giving you a running element. I think last game was the first time that I've watched him where he ran fearlessly. I think, listen, you're coming off that excruciating ankle injury to say, and I asked him directly, I was like, man, are you worried about your first game coming back? Taking that first hit, taking that. He said no, it practiced like a rep. He wasn't getting hit practice in the offseason. You could tell he was playing a little skittish through the first couple of games of the season. He just was. Every time he took off, you could tell he was either trying to look behind, make sure it wasn't someone rolling up on his ankle. And listen, I get that. I get that 100%. I think Texas A&M was the first time you saw him and said, this guy is playing fearless when he gets out and runs the football. Now, he looks pretty fearless in the pocket, but when he gets out and runs the football, he knows there's a much better element of him getting tackled either from behind or from the front. That was the first time where I think he just went out and played football rather than worried about getting injured.
Absolutely. So, I mean, he'll get more comfortable. He'll get more confident, I think, over the last half of this season. Just with that element,
it's gelling with you mentioned no spring ball. You got to gel with your wide receivers, gel with your offensive line. I mean, they're still 5 games in, and what did we see for the first time on Saturday all season long? The running game, which is only going to help him out in the passing game.
But you touched on the injury element, and that's just something that takes more time to get confident in. That, hey, I can run in here and run the football, and he ran it for 91 net yards Saturday. That's the best rushing performance, I believe, of the first 5 games for the quarterback. I don't think it's even close. That's just having a level of confidence to run in there and not worry about injury. You can say you're not worried about it all day long, but it's in the back of your head, and the more you do it, the less that voice has any volume.
And I'm not condemning the guy for thinking like that, because I've gone through an ACL, and I know many of you listening to the program right now have gone through a very tough injury, whether it's your knees, whether it's your rotator cuff, whatever it may be. There's stuff that you do over the course of your life, whether it's high school athletics, college athletics, junior high athletics, that you just don't want to go through again. And I guarantee you, Felipe doesn't want to have to go through what he did when that guy rolled up on him in the Kentucky game last year.
Yeah. Hey, do you own apartment complexes, condos, rental property? Those are great investments, particularly right now in the market we're in. You can make another great decision by calling our friends at Trinity Multifamily to help you maximize your return. Trinity Multifamily offers full-service property management, marketing, leasing, sales, all the services to make your cash flow. Take the hassles and the frustrations out of ownership by calling Trinity Multifamily, 479-452-1817, or look online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, hey, they are your teammate in the real estate game.
All right, coming up in the program, what radio team would you vote for? Richardson Kraft, Elson Jenkins, Elson Travis, or Arns and Ruskin? And why would you do it? What would they perform good in? What would they be terrible in? How would you relate to them on a daily basis? That's coming up here on the Morning Rush. You can both vote on that, Facebook and Twitter. We'll get to that conversation next.
Make a hot spring spa part of your day-to-day routine and discover what it means to get more out of your day. Burton Pools and Spas is your local hot spring spa dealer. Hot Spring Spas, the #1 spa brand, helps reduce stress, ease muscle pain, and helps you get a better night's sleep. Invest in yourself and get more out of each day with a new Hot Spring Spa at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
The Toyota Tundra and Toyota Tacoma. Load them up with all your favorite stuff.
Don't forget those sleeping bags.
And take off on your next epic weekend. Toyota trucks are made to go anywhere.
Hey, help me with these ATVs.
And do all the things you love doing.
Got one.
And when your day winds down, one thing is for sure.
What a day. Let's come back next weekend.
Absolutely nothing sounds better than an amazing weekend made possible by the virtually indestructible Toyota Tundra and Tacoma. Visit your local Toyota dealer or go to buyatoyota.com to find a great deal on the Go Anywhere, Do Anything 2020 Toyota Tundra or Tacoma and start making the most of your weekends. Toyota, let's go places.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunity, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer. In this moment, who has your back? Do you know the name of your insurance agent? Does your insurance agent know your name? Or would you call a 1-800 number that connects you with who? Another state? Another country? Get a local independent insurance agent with Auto Owners Insurance. Someone you can call when the bad stuff happens. In this moment, get an agent who will protect you in that moment. Call Kohler and Green Insurance in Fort Smith, 484-9888, or in Van Buren, 474-9888, and online at kohlergreen.com.
Wave Rural Connect is bringing state-of-the-art fiber internet, TV, and phone service to your home. Get amazingly fast fiber internet as low as $49.95 per month. TV packages start at $32.95. Fiber phone service starts at $29.95. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC to find out if we're installing in your area. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Introducing Budweiser Zero. 0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar. Full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero. 0 alcohol, 0 compromise.
The bloodline of any modern business is their computer network, data storage, and supporting hardware. So who takes care of one of the most important aspects of your business? Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren can handle all your networking services like cabling, firewall, routers, and VPNs to hardware and software protection from virus and malware. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren, 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headache.
We always put the customer first at Orr Chevrolet in Fort Smith. Since 1924, the Orr family of dealerships has grown based on one simple principle. Give the customer more money for their trades and give them a lower price on their new vehicle. It's a simple concept, really, but one that very few dealers honor anymore. Hey, we know you paid a lot of money for your vehicle, and Orr Chevrolet wants to pay you the maximum amount for it today. Then we'll give you an awesome price on a new Chevrolet. But we're not done giving you more. Included with any new vehicle sold. Or Chevy will also give you a lifetime powertrain warranty, 2 years of free maintenance, and free car washes for life. So come get a lower price and more money for your trade today at Orr Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive in Fort Smith and 24/7 at OrChevyFS.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You always get more at Orr.
You can be the hero of the office. Just go to hitthatline.com and enter to win the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest. Every week, one lucky listener wins lunch from your local Hardee's restaurant for up to 15 people at your job site or workplace. It's easy to sign up. Just click on the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest button. Give us your information, and you're entered just like that. Every Thursday, we announce a winner during halftime. Win free lunch for all your work buddies. The Hardee's Lunch Bunch from Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Lots of sunshine today. Our high this afternoon will warm up in the mid to upper 70s. Tonight we'll see a little bit more cloud cover, and overnight low will drop down into the middle to upper 40s. Sunny and breezy at times on Thursday. Our high low 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Weather is brought to you by OG&E Weatherization Program for Arkansas customers with homes at least 10 years old. Call 1-800-272-9741 for details or log on to OGE.com.
KERX, Paris Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings.
ESPN 95.3. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Quantum Property Services. Buying, selling, investing, and encompassing all your property needs.
He has to do to slow down number 5 here in the second half.
Sure, he's all man. We've got to tackle his butt. We've got an 8-man front. We need to do that better when he gets in the as a quarterback is when he's kicking our tail right now. We'll figure it out inside here.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to the Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one razorback. Number one.
This is the Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine.
That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy? What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
What a glorious night that was, watching Darren McFadden and the Arkansas Razorbacks beat the absolute tar out of the Tennessee Volunteers back in 2006. College game day in town. Ron Franklin on the call for ESPN. Just a great, great night. Jamal Anderson finished with at least 3 sacks that night, was just getting after Jonathan Crompton. Fun night. And then this Tennessee series has been a lot of fun. How can Arkansas bounce back against Tennessee? How can they get the win on Saturday night? We will get that coming up too in this program here on the Morning Rush. Before we do that, we had a little fun. Obviously, we're not oblivious to what's going on in the world right now. Don't really want to touch on it, but we are going to play into it just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah. So I was kind of thinking about this last night. It's like, how can we kind of simultaneously talk about this while not talking about this?
Yeah.
So I decided
we try to stay out of politics.
Exactly. So I decided, hey, well, we have a few members here that work at the radio station. So what would be the best presidential, both president and vice president, of this radio station group? ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and ESPN 99.5. So it's a little odd because we are midday show with Jenkins, Phil, and Matty T is 3 people instead of 2, so I didn't want to combine that. So the presidential candidate list are here as follows from the radio here at ESPN Arkansas. You have a team of Richardson and Kraft, Elson and Jenkins, Elson and Travis, and then Ruskin and Arns. Why would you vote on which particular? Who would you vote for, and why? Jenkins, what do you think your odds are of winning / competing in this beautiful election?
Well, I thought it was pretty good, but according to the Twitter page that you had to vote for, not a lot of people have a lot of confidence in me and Elson. But I mean, I think me and Phil, or Phil and Matty T would be that would be a dynamic duo.
It's the golden ticket.
That's a golden ticket right there between those two guys.
What would you and Phil provide to this great nation?
Phil would be the mouth. Phil would do the talking of everything, and if people irritate him, then SmackDown comes in.
Yeah, you'd be the enforcer.
I'd be the enforcer.
You'd be the, what do they call it in you'd be the whip.
Yes,
you're the one that has to whip up the votes. You'd be the whip.
Yes, exactly, absolutely.
Yeah,
I am a little curious though. I figured you would be on the lead ticket. or be the lead name on the team,
Well,
like Kraft Richardson.
here was my
Clearly-
thought.
clearly the names are backwards.
Here was what I thought when it came to making this list. A lot of times the president is just the face of the operation, and the VP and the people behind him are really the ones getting things done. And listen, you want the face of the operation to be me, right?
Not really.
Do you
but-
not? Well, let's for polling purposes.
I don't even think you're constitutionally eligible.
How old do you have to be? Is it 35?
35. I don't even being the youngest sports talk radio host in Arkansas, I think you're constitutionally ineligible.
It's biting me in the butt this morning. So as far as that goes,
This is on Twitter at 31Hug. It responded back to the tweet. You can get on Twitter and Facebook and vote. He says if Kraft was president and Ty was vice president, I could get behind that because Tommy would put his thumb on Ty and keep him in check. The world would be in trouble if Ty was in control, and also if Ruskin and Zach were in charge. Lord help us all.
Yeah. Hey, that's
we got
right.
another tweet.
Ain't nobody's running mate.
At Hunt Guitar at Hunt Guitar 3, he said Kraft's SmackDown ticket would win in a landslide.
I like what BE's got to say. Bring on Phil because Phil's platform would consist of bringing back the Mexican pizza at Taco Bell.
Yes.
That would be like platform item number 1 for Phil Elson is, by golly, as president, I'm bringing back the pizza at Taco Bell.
Bringing back the pizza. Listen, I know that you had to try it. I still haven't had one of them yet, to my knowledge, over the course of my
Mexican pizza?
lifetime. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess I need to try that as well.
Yeah,
You better do it pretty quick.
When are they going away?
Thursday. So
Okay,
if you're gonna have a Mexican pizza, you might do it pretty.
Mexican pizza's leaving us. The McRib's coming back. It's just an endless cycle.
That is not
in
an
this
even
world.
trade. Trust me.
No, it's not.
I think. Let's see. I think if you compare, we'll start with Ruskin and Arns. I think it would.
Why do you call him Ruskin and Arns when the name of the show is Ruskin and Zach? Just to irritate him, or just?
I mean, I just call people by their last names a lot.
All right.
I didn't. I mean, if it does irritate them, then they can get over it.
Then
but
you'll
I mean,
do it some more.
I've never heard Derek.
I thought you did it just to irritate him. So
a little bit of both.
I call. The reason I call you Jenkins is because I don't want to call you Matt when we have Matty
Two
T
Matts.
working
Yeah, that
here.
makes sense.
That's
I've been
the
called
intention.
Jenkins. I've been called Jenkins forever. So that's
I don't
fine
call
with me.
Phil Elson. I just call him Phil. Ruskin goes by Ruskin. He's never. I don't know many people that call him Derek and then Arns.
I just call him Sir. But.
Is that right? Okay. I think what we would do as far as actually we'll start with Ruskin and Arns. I think the cabinet of Ruskin and Arns would be entertaining. It would be like Deion Sanders if Hunter Yurchek actually hired him as the member of the football team. You would wake up every day and be curious what's going on in the United States.
What might happen today?
Exactly. You'd wake up. I think Phil and Matty T, there would be a universal and a mandate that you are required to watch certain movies on a weekly basis.
But the thing with Phil is, that like a national holiday would be passed for opening day of baseball.
Accurate.
So I mean, opening day, kids are out of school, everyone's off work. I guess you can fire up the barbecue in parts of the country, but we're going to be off for many baseball. There will be new baseball holidays if Phil Elson was president.
Jordan texted in from Greenwood, said Phil for president and Ruskin for vice president. Now, these tickets that we have, they're not concrete. If you think you want to team up someone with someone else, feel free to text us in 877-377-6963. So I think there would be a baseball and a movie mandate from the the Elson Travis ticket. I think as far as our ticket goes, there would be some sort of college football mandate that you're required to.
No. There'd be an official. There's no official. You can't make fun of officials if you two are on.
I'm
going to
tell you, if I'm involved, one of the first things we will do, and this isn't going to curry favor in the Bluegrass State, but I am going to hold congressional hearings into the Kentucky basketball program. We are going to get to the bottom of what's going on with John Calipari and all of this cheating.
Wow.
All right, so
Hear.
that will be one of the first things in my administration. You want to talk about my first 100 days? We're digging deep on Kentucky. We're going to find out what's going on with the Wildcat basketball program.
I think a lot of people appreciate that this morning because this idea
Make SEC basketball great again.
This idea that
the polls have swung.
Hey, do me a favor. What are the polls right now?
I'll pull up Facebook in a second, but you guys, Richardson and Kraft are leading 41% of the vote right now.
Yeah.
Ruskin and Arns.
Well, we're talking to our audience.
That's
too,
true. 41% of Richardson and Kraft, 26% for Ruskin and Zach. Elson and Jenkins at 19, and Elson Travis at 14.
I will lead the charge to expand the college football playoffs. That will be in my first 100 days as well.
Trying to think of free beer for everyone. I don't know what platform.
You just want to give stuff away.
Free seltzers.
No, free beer for everyone. That's what we're running on as far as that goes.
Yeah.
Beer.
Okay.
So beer. You got to know your audience. You got to know who you're catering to as far as that goes. So we'd have a variety of entertaining platforms that we'd be able to run on. But so far we're in the lead. I would recommend you guys pumping this out on halftime to get your numbers up a little bit. But it's going to kind of be interesting because you're going to have to brag for you, and then Travis, Matty T's going to have to
they both bring separate dynamics to the party.
The Richardson Craft ticket will make the first 2 days of March Madness federal holidays.
And Super Bowl Monday. Federal holiday. Here.
It will be Super Bowl Saturday in a Kraft Richardson administration. So these are the changes we can all believe in. A Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in Northwest Arkansas. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and you want to be home every night, you want to work with a company that has great pay, great benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply right now. Jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Coming up in the program, how can the Hogs bounce back against Tennessee?
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
This is former Coach Houston Nutt, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is Brett Good, former Razorback and Super Bowl champion with the Green Bay Packers. Everyone loves to be on a winning team. That is why I have joined Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions. Henderson Phillips can help you tackle all your employee benefit, health insurance, and staffing management solutions. Plus, I can help you with any commercial or personal insurance need. Come join my team at Henderson Phillips. Call me, Brett Good, at 479-651-2292. That's 651-2292.
Build your business with 100% fiber, internet, voice, and cloud services from Ritter Communications. Whether you're a one-man woodworking shop who needs fast, reliable internet complete with TV service, or you're a construction enterprise needing managed voice and networking to connect your multiple sites, our helpful, Arkansas-based team will create a custom solution for you. Visit RitterBusiness.com or give them a call at 888-336-4249 to learn more.
Come see what's new at the Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. In stock now, irons from TaylorMade, Mizuno, along with new woods and irons from Callaway. Also in stock, the RTX Zip Core wedges and Spider putters. The Golf Nut carries a great line of shoes, apparel, and accessories for your everyday golfing needs. As always, check Facebook for our daily specials. Work on your game in our indoor simulation base, or play a round of golf on great courses like Pebble Beach or Bethpage Black. The Golf Nut, Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, Tin Layer Dip, Brisket Nachos, and Mexican Pizza. And ask about Joe's Tailgate Packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
This is Randy Magnus, mortgage loan manager with Arvest Bank in Fort Smith. Have you checked your mortgage rate lately? A lot of times people forget about their rate after their loan is closed. Your friends at Arvest Bank would love the opportunity to review your current loan. With Arvest competitive rates, you might be able to lower your monthly payment, shorten the term of your loan, or both. Arvest services 99% of the loans that originate, so most of the time you can deal with any of our local branches for all your mortgage needs. Please give us a call at 479-573-1127 or download the Home For Me app to your mobile device and search for a Fort Smith loan officer. Arvest Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Are you looking for a
a new place to call home? Whether you're looking for an apartment, duplex, townhome, or a house, Trinity Multifamily has you covered. They even have options in surrounding states, from Texas to Michigan and Kansas to Tennessee. If you're looking for a new place to call home, make Trinity Multifamily your first call at 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Tri-Hill Turf offers the highest quality turf and pest services. Hey, you say those are big words. Well, let's see. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has a company agronomist, state and nationally certified technicians, free soil testing, and they even have precision GPS guided application equipment. Now that's high tech. For over 30 years, Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has used the latest application technology, and they strive for turf and pest excellence. They are your local turf and pest experts. Call the local team at 782-0404. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Stop in today at Randall Ford, where you'll find over 150 pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. We have what you want at the price that will fit your budget. We have 35 certified pre-owns. We even have over 25 vehicles under $10,000 and no payment for 90 days. All used vehicles go through a 115-point safety inspection. Plus, we will deliver your new purchase right to your front door. Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue, or online 24/7 at randallford.com. Home of the lowest price guarantee.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Second down for Mississippi State. Costello rolling to his right. Flags are down. Fires toward the sideline. It's intercepted. Intercepted down at the 36-yard line. Coming out of there with it was Joe Fouché. If that's a hold on State, it's going to be Arkansas's football.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
You want to get back in the winning column on Saturday night. You want to even up that record, be 3-3 in the SEC, have a good outlook on the rest of your football season. How are you going to do that? What's your opinion? What is the biggest reason? What is the biggest part of how Arkansas is going to win on Saturday night? 877-377-6963. Tommy and I will give you our opinions, and then we want to hear yours. Why do you think Arkansas, what specific reason is Arkansas going to win on Saturday night?
We will get scored more points.
Yeah, don't give us that sarcastic answer. I asked my buddy, hey, who do you think's going to win? It's like whoever has more electoral college. I was like, I'm going to kick your ass. Like, don't say that. So we're brought to you by the Fence Man this morning.
Yeah, the company you can trust when it comes to building your next fence or taking care of your gates. I can tell you because the Fence Man built some gates for me, and they can take care of your fence or gate project at your home. And the whole process is easy. You call Sean, he'll come out, he'll look at your project, he'll add some ideas to your ideas, and come up with a great design for your fencing project. It's easy, it's quick. Most importantly, it's affordable when you deal with the Fence Man. They have 18 months, same as cash financing, so if you want to go that route, they can help you with that. And if you need a new fence, gates, or really anything involving a fence, call the Fence Man, 782-3936. That's 479-782-3936 for the Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
We're going to have former Tennessee quarterback Eric Ainge on Friday at 7:15. He texted me early. He said his blood time donation got changed, so he's going to be joining. He's giving blood. His time got changed, so he's going to be joining us at 7:15 on Friday. We'll get his take on the whole Tennessee quarterback situation.
That's a new excuse.
Yeah, I mean, he texted me early this morning at 5, and I mean, I'm taking the guy at his word as far as that goes.
He texted at 5 a.m.?
5:15 or 5:20.
Okay, I'm going to believe him then.
Yeah, I would guess that too. It's not just he didn't text me 5 minutes ago and do that. So we'll keep an eye on that. And again, we will have a conversation with him coming up on Friday, as well as speak to Clay Henry as always. But when you talk about bouncing back, getting back in the winning column, recuperating after the loss against Texas A&M, what is important? This team has had the ability all season long, despite whatever happened the week before, to pick up their bootstraps and go back to work. Here's what I'm looking for first. Felipe Franks has played his best 2 outings on the road. Can he have one of, if not his best outing at home? That's not too much of an ask. You just had one of your better offensive performances this past week. String together a performance. Play like you did on Saturday night against the Texas A&M Aggies and do it at home. Yeah. I don't think that's asking too much of your senior quarterback.
Yeah, and can you continue the loss pattern so that if that continues, this should be a win. So what do you got to do in order to do that? You got to have quarterback play, and that's where you're beginning the conversation that is efficient enough. That's been the difference in some of these games. So can you protect him? Can your offensive line be good enough to not put him in situations where he can't see his receivers, where he's comfortable enough back there when he's on the run? He has good vision of the field. All of those things. They've moved the pocket at times. You've seen that where the offensive line just starts kind of shifting left or right at the snap of the ball to roll the pocket. They've utilized that strategy at times. Tennessee's going to be a challenge. Jeremy Pruitt's a defensive guy. They'll have good schemes, and I think the one thing I'm more concerned about than anything is they've had 2 weeks to get ready for this game, where Arkansas's had the one.
Exactly. Zach and Paragould texting. He says Treylon Burks and Felipe Franks is going to be the reason that Arkansas wins. If you look at the connection these guys have formed early on in the season, where Burks has over 300 receiving yards, 4 touchdowns already, he is going to end up as an all-SEC performer in this conference at the wide receiver position. And a lot of that has to do with them forming that bond. And you hope to see it continue because the dude can just go up and make plays. He is a slot receiver in a wide guys by 6'3", 4'3" speed, incredible hands, just a gifted athlete out of Warren, Arkansas, where we know they grow great tomatoes and great football players, as told by Mr. Mark Jones of ESPN. That connection has been so fun to watch based on the hunger to just watch Burks perform, and you finally get to see that in 2020.
Yeah. So, I think another big reason of what we're going to do is, or why we would succeed in this game is you got to get defensive pressure. You got to force turnovers by getting pressure from the front line, starting with Marshall in the middle, and getting Tennessee uncomfortable, getting their quarterback uncomfortable. Will he throw interceptions?
Yeah, and you mentioned Jonathan Marshall. It's also important for the other defensive linemen to step up in this situation because Marshall at times seems like he's the only one, and he's fighting through what seem to be double and triple teams at times because he is just such a force in the middle. You got to get some other pressures from the defensive line, whether it's Soley, whether it's Gerald, Gregory. The list goes on and on and on. You have to be able to ask more of your defensive linemen getting to the quarterback. 877-377-6963 is the number you can call or text in. Let's go to Charlie, who's in Camden. Charlie, you're on the Morning Rush, man.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How are we doing this morning?
Man, how are you?
Okay, my issue with this team, can y'all hear me, by the way?
Charlie, say that again, buddy. Sorry.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we're good. Fire away, buddy.
Okay, I was just going to I think the difference in last weekend's game is I think Felipe played well. I think the quarterback play, I know Munn played great, but I think the difference right now with our team is obviously, I think the biggest issue with our team the last few years has just been the offensive line play. I don't think – I think Felipe is the best quarterback we've had in a while. But, even this weekend, I worry about, us being able to hold up against their offensive line. I mean, you guys have talked about how good they are. I know they're ranked. Someone ranked them like the second best O-line in the SEC.
Cole Kubelik.
Talking about Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's what I worry about more so this weekend. Us just being able to get them off the field on third down and being able to just hold up with our run defense. I'm not saying we got exposed last week. I just think that they just kind of pushed us around a little bit. I mean, they pretty much bullied us. So, that was the difference in the game. We couldn't stop the run, in my opinion, and then Munn was efficient.
Mm-hmm.
So
when you
Barry Odom's going to have to figure out new ways to get pressure. I mean, that's the bottom line, right?
And Charlie, I would say to your point, you make an excellent one. When Bumper Pool and Grant Morgan are so focused on Ainias Smith and Isaiah Spiller, it takes away from their ability to cover the tight end, which Jake Weidemeyer just killed you on Saturday night. So that you're 100% dead on.
Well, in their defense, they're going to come up on the play action if they can't stop the run. I mean, if they weren't able to stop the run, they're going to come up a little bit on those play actions. I thought Barry Odom did send some blitzes. I was watching the game. I saw, you were talking about him trying to find different ways to get pressure. I saw some different exotic. I feel like they tried a lot of different things. It just A&M, you got to give them credit. They just picked up every blitz, everything we threw at them. They picked it up. Now I'm not saying they didn't get away with a few holding calls, A&M, but you got to give them. They're great. They might be the best offensive line in this league, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So, and if Tennessee's number 2, that definitely scares me a little bit. But anyways, I'll hang up and listen. You guys.
All right, thanks for the culture. Tennessee's opponents have had 11 sacks for 85 yards this year. So, gives you an idea of what they've given up. Tennessee's gained 10 sacks themselves. So, that's the season stat for Tennessee's opponents is 11 sacks.
And both those are middle of the pack if you look at the national college football rankings. So I think with Texas A&M's offensive line, Charlie, I think a lot of people would agree with you. Again, they've only given up 2 sacks all season, and that was their first game against Vanderbilt. They have not given up a sack since the first game of the college football season in which they participated. Now, Tennessee has played some really good defenses as of late, but you mentioned something that Sam mentioned in his press conference earlier this week. He talked about it's not like we just sat back and watched. They came after him a variety of different ways. You just couldn't get to the quarterback on Saturday night, and that should concern you as an Arkansas football fan. Even if Jared Garantano is not a good quarterback, which he's not, he's terrible, you got to get pressure on him and make him show you why he's a bad football player. Because if he's just handing the ball off multiple times, like Sam Pittman knows that Jim Chaney wants to do, if Jim Chaney had his way, he'd run 50 rushing plays and 10 passes over the course of the game. You have to make Jim Chaney throw the football, call throwing plays, call passing plays against you if you're going to have a shot in this football game.
Yeah, so we know Arkansas didn't have any sacks against A&M. How many quarterback hurries do you think they had?
3.
0. Pass breakups, 2. Block passes, 0. We know there wasn't any fumbles in the ball game. So, they tackles for loss, they had 6 of those, but no sacks, no quarterback hurries. That gives you an idea. Not only, were they keeping the quarterback clean, they weren't even really pressuring him to throw the football early, or he wasn't releasing it and then get hit. He was talking about clean. He was really clean. On the other side, Arkansas gave up 4 sacks and 2 quarterback hurries. So, that's the game within the game that was more or less the difference, right?
Arkansas has 9 sacks on the season. That's 57th. It's tied for 57th in college football. And one of the philosophies that you've seen so far with Barry Odom is a bend, don't break philosophy. That a lot of times, if you look at the majority of their snaps, I don't have an exact percentage on it, but they have rushed 3 guys a lot this season. When you rush 3, there's a lot of times you're not going to get pressure on the quarterback. You sit back and make him make the mistakes. Matt Corral, KJ Costello, they did that. DeJuan Mathis, to some extent, did that. You didn't necessarily have that from Kellen Mond. That's why he destroyed you on Saturday night. Can you make Jared Garantano, or if Harrison Bailey is submitted into the game, can you make those guys worried about the pressure that they could face? It'll be interesting to see. That is a huge facet of the game on Saturday.
And that's easier to do when you don't feel the rushing threat, where you're going to drop 8 to cover 5. 5's the maximum they can send downfield, so you've got them outnumbered. But when you're worried about either a mobile quarterback or them running the football, that strategy doesn't work as well. So we went over earlier the rushing numbers and the rushing attempts by ball game for Tennessee. They run the football some, so you're going to have to account for that. We saw A&M first play 15 yards, and Arkansas gets them off the field, but they didn't get them off the field much till the fourth quarter. And then they scored on 6 straight. You're going to have to account for the run. So you can't just drop 8 unless you could do that when you felt Ole Miss and Mississippi State were going to throw regardless. Tennessee's not necessarily going to just throw. And you can't just drop 8 and not account for the run, or you're going to get gashed for 8, 9, 10 yards.
Yeah, exactly right as far as that goes. And we will continue just to talk about this morning. What does Arkansas need to do to beat the Tennessee Volunteers on that? We're taking your calls. We're taking your text at 877-377-6963.
Hey, brought to you by the all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas. They want you to get out and explore this fall. They have the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping, like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe, and with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle. Relax to know that your RV will stay like new year after year. It's at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of Exit 72, off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
Mike Leach was asked about Kylan Hill earlier this week, and he says he hadn't heard anything from him. The last I heard was what I told you last time. I heard he was opting out. I haven't heard anything further, and I haven't spoken with him. Now, initially, after the dominating win over LSU, where Bo Pelini refused to play zone and they just torched that man coverage all season long, they initially jumped on the bandwagon there for Mike Leach in Starkville. Since then, 4 straight losses. You scored 2 points against Kentucky. KJ Costello throws 3 picks against Arkansas, and the offense has looked abysmal. So if you stack Leach up against Drink, against Pittman, and against Kiffin, obviously Sam Pittman's got the 2 wins over Kiffin and Leach, and then he's got the game remaining with Drink. This is going to be a fascinating discussion as we continue to progress. We always talk about, hey, what's the Brady-Belichick dynamic? Who's winning that battle? Well, it's clearly Tom Brady. They won their 6th win on Monday night against the New York Giants. Meanwhile, Belichick and the Patriots have 2 wins. They travel to the Jets on Monday night. This is also a conversation we're having relative to what you guys like and gals like, which is SEC football. So far, Sam Pittman is winning. If they win on Saturday night, that just adds another part of this pecking order to the equation when it comes to him being ahead of the other new hires in SEC football.
No, and really you can't answer the equation, particularly with the 4 programs this year. When can you truly answer that? 2 years from now?
Well, but you can make it,
and you'd say Leach is fourth amongst them right now.
Correct.
That's pretty clear.
Unless he somehow, someway wins the Egg Bowl.
Who's number 1? I mean, it's either Drink or it's Sam, because Sam's got head-up wins over the other 2 at this point. But that doesn't tell the whole story either.
No, this is an ongoing. It's like an ongoing investigation of sorts. But I think, like, if Sam ends up beating Missouri the second to last game of the season, then you would say he's clearly ahead
at this
of the
point.
others. And that's the point. You have to add that caveat. You have to add that asterisk in at this point.
So, because what happens once everyone has a recruiting class or 2? Once you actually have spring football, once you have a true off season where you can go through the whole process. No one got to work their process this year. You probably learn from it. You'll probably be all of these programs will be better for what we went through, even though it's painful. But all 4 of these programs didn't get to go through the development stages that they needed in the offseason. That's why, you can say at this point, but, it's going to be a deal where you're trying to judge this 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road, and really get an answer then.
B in Clarksville texts in, he says, isn't Kiffin the highest paid of the 4 new coaches? Pittman is the least paid, and as a guy that appreciates value in a lot of different aspects of my life, I appreciate the value that Sam Pittman is getting. And he's going to get paid if he keeps winning. Arkansas is going to take care of him and Jamie and that coaching staff. But so far, like, when you look at this season, based on the salaries, based on the incentives of the contract, I think Sam's clearly been the best value for his particular fan base.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and there's going to be more values around the league because schools are going to be forced to make hard choices with their finances. But, no, what you're getting for the money, now keep in mind, he's a game below 500 at this point. So, but he's exceeded or met I would say, in most people's preseason expectations. What you thought in August, what you thought in early September, he's probably met or exceeded that for most at this point with a number of wins at least. So you're starting to recalibrate. Now you expect more than 2. You expect 3, 4, 5 wins at this point. And I get it. You have the right to adjust and change your opinion based on new information. But at this point, no one has exceeded expectations more than Sam Pittman in this conference.
And we spoke about with Chris Marlowe of Saturday Down South yesterday. He thinks that if Arkansas beats Tennessee on Saturday night, they're getting to 5 wins. And I'm assuming that he's going to go with LSU and Missouri. I don't think he would have predicted Arkansas to beat both Florida and the Alabama Crimson Tide following your last game of the season. But that is, again, to say if you were to win, now this is all under the condition of you beating Tennessee and Jeremy Pruitt on Saturday night. But let's say that happens. Let's say you knot up your record at 3-3. Can you imagine the uproar and the excitement from this fan base if they were to end the season 5-5? And that is not a gross misrepresentation of where this football team is right now, but it starts, as we mentioned, getting it done on Saturday night.
But what you should also be thinking about, the next sentence in that paragraph should be, and how well do you compete at Florida and against Alabama? You know, I want to see that, not just, hey, can I get the wins? And I know you want to mount up wins and tally that up, and that's the scoreboard. But I also want to see how well do you compete on the field against Alabama and then the road trip to Florida, which will come next week.
Do you really expect to compete against Alabama?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because they've competed against everyone else to this point.
Alabama has blown out. The closest game Alabama had was 63-48 to Ole Miss. 15 points.
I don't expect to be embarrassed. I don't expect it to be. And so far, Arkansas hadn't had a game I'd say they've been embarrassed.
What's embarrassed? What's embarrassed?
I've
28
always,
or more?
four more touchdowns, 5 or more touchdowns, however you want to quantify that. But and maybe the game's 21 until the fourth quarter and it gets away from you. I just want to see, can you compete? Because those are the measuring sticks about where you are at as a program. Yes, you may win against Missouri, and I think that's a harder win than we might think at this point. And I think LSU is probably the easiest game left on your schedule. I think we'd agree on that at this point. I think LSU's
over Missouri.
Absolutely. Missouri beat LSU.
I guess it's
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean Missouri's I think much tougher than LSU at this point based on what we've seen.
Brennan wasn't playing in that game though, was he? Or was he?
Like 3 weeks ago.
Was Brennan playing that game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Say, when did they?
I know he got. I don't remember if he got injured in that or practice, but
that game was week 3. So back October 10th.
I'd have to.
The third game.
I'd have to really look. I don't know if I can just come out on Wednesday and say that
LSU's bad, dude. Real bad.
I've been screaming that for what do you mean? You don't think I know that? I've been screaming that since offseason. That
I think Missouri's better than LSU, but anyway, that's not the point of the conversation. I think that game is harder. Just like A&M, we overlooked some things that were obvious about how good A&M is. I'm just saying the Missouri game and going on the road and winning there is not just going to be a cakewalk.
No.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't. Here's my take. You mentioned I think they'll compete at Florida next weekend. I would be surprised if the Alabama game was close.
And again, I don't expect them to win at Florida, and I don't expect them to win against Alabama. I just want to see how well and how long into the game they can be competitive. How long can you keep this thing within 3 touchdowns? How well do you look like you belong at the line of scrimmage? Do you look like you belong on the field? Because against Georgia, we know what they did for a half, and then you wilted. Now, I think this team is a lot better. So those are important things, too. Yeah, getting to 5 wins, that's possible, but you got to win this week in order to do that. But obviously from a mathematical standpoint. But just keep winning, man, and good things are going to happen. But I want to see how you compete against the league's best because that's where you want to be someday. Those are the measuring sticks that are important.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they round out the season. Alabama, again, replaced Auburn the week before. By that point, they will have clinched their spot for the SEC championship, and how they play against Arkansas and Fayetteville is going to be something fascinating to watch. I don't think Nick Saban is going to let them lax as of, remember, in the fourth quarter with about 40, 50 seconds left, a player for the Crimson Tide gets a penalty, and Nick Saban, again, they're up by 40 or 41 at this point, and he is just ripping him a new one on the sidelines. That is the mentality of Nick Saban in that football program. No matter how much time's left, no matter who you're playing, you better come ready to play or you're going to get a butt chewing on the sidelines.
They will still be playing for seeding at that point in the year. Hey, I want to tell you again about our friends at Gaston's White River Resort, 870-431-5202. Still awfully impressed with that recent catch from our good friend Lynn Hicks, who guided me and Ty this summer when we went over, was it May or so, when we went over and fished for a couple of days at Gaston's. Had a great time. Lynn's one of the premier guides at Gaston's. They have a great roster of guides that have a ton of experience. If you haven't seen the fish we're talking about, there was a 26-pound brown caught last week. Lynn was the guide. You can see that on Gaston's Facebook page. I've got it on my Twitter page. You can scroll down a little bit and find it. That's the quality of the fish that are in the White River. That's not even a record. I mean, like 20 pounds close of a record, but those are the kind of fish of a lifetime you can find in the White River near Gaston's White River Resort. Hey, if you've always dreamed of something like a 26-pound brown on the end of your 6 or 4-pound test line, get to Gaston's and let them show you. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
You guys keep rocking. I love the show.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.ca.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Frank Rowe Furniture 6-day only sale, November the 2nd through November the 7th. For instance, this leather sofa in love with powered recliners and headrests, regular $3,600, finance price $29.93, cash price $27.44. Large sectional with ottoman, regular $31.05, finance price $25.57, cash price $23.44. All furniture, bedroom furniture are on sale. Don't miss out. 6 days only at Frank Rowe Furniture. Best seats in the house.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Fitness will always be about keeping a routine. And the best routines in life will always make time for enjoying yourself. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
New Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
A hard seltzer with a hint of fruit flavor.
Yep.
Can I try one?
Yep.
That tastes great.
Told you. Bud Light Seltzer. Unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer. IRC Beers. Beer in Texas. St. Louis, Missouri.
The best TV experience in the nation is available locally with personal service from WOW World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional Dish authorized retailer. Dish has the Hopper 3, the most advanced DVR, and delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recording anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now, WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3888. 877-305-3474 for more details, or visit us online at shopwownow.com. Get the Hopper 3 today by calling WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474, or online at shopwownow.com.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device. World of Wireless has moved just a few miles east, next to Frank Rowe Furniture in Barling.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Oh my gourd, folks. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. This month, I want to say thanks. So I'm on a mission to make car buying easy as pie and help you snag a sweet deal on one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. This month, you could drive a nicer, newer car and save up to $4,150. That's a lot of dough. So if your old ride is flaky, crusty, burnt, or rusty, don't let it squash your happiness. Trade it for a nicer, newer car now, even if you still owe money, and save up to $4,150. Plus, my For the People approval process makes financing your nicer, newer car easy as pie. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Deals this delicious won't last long, so visit us today at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
And it's Joe Adams with a hurdle. Great speed. Adams down the sideline. He's gone. 92 yards for a touchdown.
Follow the show on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine.
It's been interesting to follow this Arkansas offense this season. There's been times they've had success, times they've struggled, but I think a lot of the success has stemmed from Felipe Franks and his stability that he's provided with that offense. But some fans still want to see another quarterback in there. Why? That's the question I asked this morning. Why do you want to see another quarterback? And we'll get into this coming up here on the Morning Rush as we tell you about Burton Pools and Spas.
Yeah, and a hot spring spa would be a great part of your day in and day out. Discover the day-to-day routine now and what it means to get more out of every day with Burton Pools and Spas, your local hot spring spa dealer. They've got the biggest and the best selection of hot spring spas that you'll find, with over 28 spas to choose from. And right now, the #1 spa brand is there for you to help reduce stress, ease muscle pain, and help you get a better night's sleep. Hey, just get more out of every day with a hot spring spa from Burton Pools and Spas. They even have hot spring spas now with the saltwater feature, so it's easier than ever to take care of and to keep up with the maintenance on that as well. Hey, this is the year. Invest in yourself. Get more out of each day with Burton Pools and Spas and a hot spring spa. They're in Springdale and in Fort Smith and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas is your source for backyard fun.
I'd love for someone to call in and tell me why they think that KJ Jefferson or Malik Hornsby should get more snaps. 877-377-6963. I'll hear you out. This will kind of be like a change my mind type moment where you're going to try and get on here and change my mind. But I honestly don't think someone could put together a list or examples that are warranted enough to take Felipe out of the starting lineup. Again, if you look at his statistics so far in the SEC this season, he's top 6 in like all of them. All of them. And there's only a handful of quarterbacks that you would probably say, you know, I'd probably take him over Felipe. The Trask's, the Mac Jones's, the Matt Corral's maybe, but he threw 6 picks against you. There's not that many quarterbacks in this conference that you would say, you know what, I'd rather have him than Franks.
And you hadn't been in a comfortable enough situation or even a game that's been really blown out to the point that, you know, I guess Georgia would be as close as you can put in another quarterback just to get them some experience. I mean, experience to me, if you said make the argument, take the other side. And the other side is prepare a backup, particularly in a year where COVID is still a real thing that could take away your quarterback at any moment. We've seen that in we're seeing it right now in Clemson. with the number one team in college football having to deal with that. So there's certainly some merit to the argument of having another quarterback ready just from that standpoint.
And you bring up Clemson. I was listening to Dennis Dodd of CBS Sports yesterday, and I'm going to butcher the crap out of DJ's last name. It's DJ Ugalai.
Yeah, there you go.
I have no idea how to pronounce it. I know that Clemson
has a
faithful.
tough, not only tough spelling, but a tough saying. We got to get better on that.
Former
bone up on that.
number one dual threat quarterback. He might have been the first or second best overall recruit in the class he was associated with, but Dennis Dodd said he thinks he's going to be better than Trevor Lawrence, and Trevor's the projected
that's a mouthful.
number one draft pick this upcoming year. So DJ definitely has some success that's awaiting him, but that just goes to show you, even in what you would probably say is the most non-controversial situation for quarterbacks, there's still some controversy that's tried to be thrown in. And listen, Trevor's going to get his job back immediately once he comes back. But you have people speculating already that DJ is going to be better than Trevor. Trevor's proven that he's a number one draft pick. Now, I guess he hadn't technically done that because he's not going to the NFL, but at the collegiate level, he has proven that he is the best quarterback at this level.
He's worse than two. It depends on your opinion on Justin Fields. There'd be some Ohio State people might want to challenge you.
If you
on that.
look at it logically, Trevor Lawrence is the best quarterback in college football. Now, I love watching Justin as much as the next guy. He is a spectacular player, but from an NFL standpoint, what he fits, Trevor's going to be the better prototypical NFL quarterback, unless he gets drafted by the New York Jets, which he might avoid.
Which is very very possible based on the way they have played.
We might have an Eli Manning type situation where he gets drafted by the Chargers, like, I don't want to play here. So trade me away.
But you said make the argument for some more playing time for KJ Jefferson or Malik Hornsby. To me, that's where you would begin. Is you need some experience for them in the event of you go through a Clemson type situation. That's just a real possibility. But what we have seen in these goal line packages hasn't been enough to say, hey, now there's something that I can believe in a little bit. I don't know how you have an opinion, Ty. Everybody says, what do you think about KJ Jefferson or Malik Hornsby? How do you even have an opinion on Malik Hornsby as a college football player?
Was it true? Here's my opinion. He's a true freshman. He's not going to be able to withstand the SEC defense.
You say you haven't seen anything, so I don't even know how you have an opinion.
I've seen enough from college football players as true freshmen or even as redshirt freshmen to tell you that I don't even have to see him on the field. I don't even have to see a second of him playing football to know that a true freshman is not ready to play in the Southeastern Conference.
Okay, and that's all I need. That's just an opinion on freshmen in general. But if you want an opinion on Hornsby, I don't know how you. I don't have one. And you can say, well, hadn't you seen his highlight tapes from high school? Well, highlight tapes are exactly that. They're highlights edited together. I mean, we'd all like to have a life full of highlight tapes. People just running around, but that's not reality either. You're only taking the good. You got to take the good and the bad with any player.
And I don't want to put words in my mouth to say that Malik is not going to have success here at the University of Arkansas, because I ultimately think he's going to beat out KJ eventually. I don't know if it's going to be next year or down the road, but I think he's going to eventually get that starting job. But what I'm saying is he has no business starting, unless it's an injury concern, has no business starting over Felipe Franks in the Southeastern Conference as a true freshman.
I'm just a believer in trusting the coaches' eyes and opinions and what they see in practice. And if something was occurring in practice that gave them a different opinion, they would put it into the game plan, right? Because their job is to win football games, and that's the only way they keep their job. This isn't about someone's dad's the president of the booster club. This is about you got to win football games. So
it'd be different if you saw John Stephen or Jack Lindsey
exactly.
starting at quarterback. But
if politics was the reason, Jones would start every game at quarterback, right?
You'd have Jones
or
Lindsey.
Lindsey would be starting at every game. But that's not how it works.
Not the issue.
So, I mean, clearly in practice, the best quarterback has won the day.
And I listen, Sam has said, he said, Felipe's held the ball on too long, but he has 3 interceptions on the season. That's it. That's all the interceptions he's thrown. Now, he's had that
taking too many sacks.
The rollout fumble. You can be frustrated on that, but I mean, he's not forcing plays. And
Would you rather have a sack or a turnover?
Sack.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's not and that was what you kept wondering about.
Other than maybe fourth down. So
that's what you kept wondering about Felipe Franks when he came in. It's like, oh, this guy likes to throw picks. He likes to force it. He hadn't done that this year.
Been the opposite. Yeah.
One or two of those interceptions got tipped off the wide receiver. I think it was Devion in the Ole Miss game where it hit off his hands and then it got picked off by a safety. So, I mean, you look at the plays and the throws he's made, and maybe there's a couple against Georgia that should have been picked off, but he hasn't forced throws. He's been your guy. He's provided you stability at the offense. Keep it that way.
So, be a fun discussion to continue on. Hey, half price apps and taps begin at 5 o'clock today at Joe's Grill and Cantina. That's the Wednesday special. And speaking of half price apps and taps, they'll have them Saturday night for the ball game, and on Saturdays they do the dollar tacos as well. So great place to watch the game with dollar tacos. And then during the Arkansas game, half price apps and taps at Joe's Grill and Cantina. That's the Wednesday night special. Happy hour begins today at 3 o'clock, so you can check all of that out. All bar drinks are $1 off each. Street tacos just $2. So a great place to stop in on your way home is at Joe's Grill and Cantina. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Hart's.
Coming up, former Razorback Brett Good joins us on the other side. Stay with us, folks. Hour number 3 of the Morning Rush coming up.
The all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
At any of the Clay Maxey companies, it's just an easy, customer-centered experience. We wanted to make it a one-stop shop, so we added Kawasaki and Can-Am and Hustler and Worldline. It's really been a nice add for us. We provide full service. We're doing pickup and delivery. We were able to add the Vexus line, which is a premier basketball line. We want to make it easy. We want you to visit us at any of the Clay Maxey companies. Clay Maxey Ford and Harrison, Berryville, Motorsports, Marine, or Clay Maxey NWA.
Make a hot spring spa part of your day-to-day routine and discover what it means to get more out of your day. Burton Pools and Spas is your local hot spring spa dealer. Hot Spring Spas, the #1 spa brand, helps reduce stress, ease muscle pain, and helps you get a better night's sleep. Invest in yourself and get more out of each day with a new Hot Spring Spa at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Woo woo! Beat up sauce alert! 4 new sauces just hit the menu. Listen closely for the lineup. Player 1, pizza sauce. The game day decision of pizza versus wings is now easier than ever. Player 2, lemon pepper. Yep, that's right. Now it's a sauce too. Player 3, orange sauce. Served with a fortune cookie on the side. And lastly, coming in hot, Carolina Reaper. This sauce just moved up to captain, taking over as Beat Up's new blazing sauce. Locations in Little Rock, Fort Smith, Sherwood, Jonesboro, and Conway. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar!
Frank-Row Furniture 6-day sale only, November the 2nd through November the 7th. For instance, this leather sofa Love with powered recliners and powered headrest, regularly $3,600, finance price $29.93, cash price $27.44. Large sectional with ottoman, regular $31.05, finance price $25.57, cash price $23.44. All furniture, bedroom furniture on sale. Don't miss out. 6 days only at Frank-Row Furniture. Best seats in the house.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headache.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house?
All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
What happened to paying one price and getting everything included? You buy an airline ticket and pay extra to bring a change of clothes, book a hotel room, and you're shelling out for Wi-Fi and overpriced bottled water. Really? Imagine my delight when I found out roadside assistance is now included with my shelter insurance auto policy. So if I get a flat tire and need a jump, I just call and they take care of me. There's no additional cost, but some restrictions apply.
Ask shelter agent Phil Hicks about a free insurance review.
Evans Body Shop wants you to know that you are now able to get the repair process started on your schedule. With just a few clicks of your cell phone, you can send photos and your vehicle information directly to our shop. We will respond within 24 hours with a detailed estimate for repairs. It's that simple. We are here for you. Visit our website for all of the details. We offer complimentary pickup and drop-off as well, and extra steps are being taken to ensure your car is returned as good as new and completely sanitized.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Breen RV in Van Buren is having their last sale of the year. Despite COVID-19's best effort, we are still getting in new trailers in weekly, and they are marked down as soon as they hit the lot. Browse Breen RV's selection of Forest River, Dutchman, Thor, and Coachman products and pick out the best fit for you. You can buy with ease knowing that your new purchase comes with free maintenance for life. Once you're ready to hibernate for the winter, bring your camper into us for deluxe winterization specials, starting at just $99. Breen RV will work on all makes and models, and don't forget that all their accessories are installed for free. The Breen RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Clear sky tonight, and overnight low will drop down in the low to mid 40s. We should see lots of sun Wednesday, our high on Wednesday, into the low 70s. Thursday, blue sky and sunshine, our high will be just over 70. And then Friday, back to sunny skies and low 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Weather is brought to you by OG&E Weatherization Program for Arkansas customers with homes at least 10 years old. Call 1-800-272-9741 for details or log on to OGE.com.
You're listening to The Morning Rush live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3 KERX Paris Fort Smith. This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
You have to do to slow down number 5 here in the second half.
Sure, he's all man. We've got to tackle his butt. Got an 8-man front. We need to do that better when he gets in the as a quarterback is when he's kicking our tail right now. We'll figure it out inside here.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one razorback. Number 1.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Hour number 3 of The Morning Rush. What a night that was. 2006 College game day in town. Darren McFadden and company run wild over Philip Fulmer and the Tennessee Volunteers, and you get them back in Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium like you did in 2011. You hope the trend continues, that you can make it another win in your home stadium. We're going to talk to Brett Good coming up in just one sec. Before we do, if you're having trouble sleeping, there's only one place you need to call.
Yeah, maybe if you have sleep apnea or you snore like a freight train. You've been told that. Maybe you already have a CPAP and you're tired of the noise, the constant cleaning, your wife telling you she can't handle the noise anymore. Call Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith. He can help with sleep apnea. He can help get rid of your CPAP with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of the annoying CPAP. Dr. Bo's been doing this for years. He's treated hundreds of patients just like you out there. So call for an appointment. Find out what it's all about. 479-785-1419. That's 785-1419, and get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
Brett, what do you remember about that night in 2006? I mean, it was a rocking atmosphere. You guys got the dub that night. What do you remember about that Tennessee victory or the Arkansas victory against Tennessee?
Well, the greatest thing about that night was not only was College Game Day there for the first time and you get to win, but it was also senior night. So it was a great way to end a career at Arkansas in such a memorable experience that, frankly, hasn't really been done since and wasn't done before with that atmosphere, that on the line. And then watching Darren run the ball like he did, it was phenomenal.
One of the things, it was cold and windy that morning. Everybody was gathered for game day up on Lot 44 that looks a lot different now than it did then. But it was cold and the wind was blowing up around there, and it didn't get a whole lot better for that game that night.
It didn't. I think that's probably why we put the ball in his hands a little bit more, and then he got hot, and then you got to feed him once he gets hot. And yeah, it was cold. It was a great night, though. It was a great night of football. It was football weather, as everybody likes to say. And when you go out there and you can beat a Tennessee team at home and in that atmosphere, second to none.
And, Brett, people forget that was y'all's 9th straight win. You had won 8 previous. That was 4th highest in college football that year, and then you get that victory. Now, we know how that season ended, but following that win against Tennessee, how are you guys feeling in that locker room and the rest of the night?
Well, you're partying the best you can. I mean, it's exciting. It's memorable. I heard after that game where there were some people that were like, "We actually are good." The truth is real of being able to going to run like that. And so people really started taking us serious, and we started getting the talks of, with everything, from the SEC championship game into national title talks because of how powerful our offense was, and we were winning ball games consistently.
Brett, people would debate, hey, it's harder to get focus after a win. Oh, it's harder to get focus after a loss. From your perspective, you've been on both sides at both the college and professional level. If you're Sam Pittman, what are you telling the guys all throughout the week and prior to the Tennessee game?
I think with wins and losses, you got to let them go at midnight. Now, obviously, the next day you're a little bit happier after a win, and that makes that practice that week easier after a win. But you have to let it go at midnight and just move on to the next game, because a win can take you down if you're riding too high, and the loss can do the same thing, and you don't want to carry it on. So I think Sam's going to get the guys together. I think his whole coaching staff is, they're going to go back, and it's a fundamentals type deal where you start working on, critiquing yourself of every fundamental that you missed and then missed assignments throughout the game, and really hammer in like, hey, we're not as good as you think you are if you go out and make that performance, 2 weeks in a row.
All right, let's rewind and go back to the A&M game. I want to ask you a couple things, particularly with the field goals. Arkansas was 1 of 3, missed a 48 and a 49-yard field goal. One thing that was interesting, the TV had the shot through the uprights that you commonly see, and you didn't get a good look. I'm sure you looked at it closer and probably rewound it and watched it again. Was on the first missed field goal, Sam brought over Lindsey and Reed and had a conversation with the two of them together. What do you think that was about, and did you see something in the snap and hold operation that may have led to that really, really bad miss on that first attempt?
Well, usually whenever, that first attempt, when I first saw it, I was like, man, did I get blocked? And when he brought him over, what happens in that conversation is like, what happened? He wants the players to know exactly what happened. You don't want to hear the answer, I don't know. And so he's trying to figure out, was it the hold? Was it the laces? Was the kicker's plant foot ahead or behind? And, there's all kinds of different elements that go into that, 1.3 seconds. And he wants to make sure that they know what they're doing and they can correct that and go to the sideline. And his kicks looked better throughout the night, but he seemed off. And I don't know, some games, some kickers do that. And what they've got to work on this week is they've got to get that operation smooth and consistent, because we need those points when we're in these football games, when our offense is, we kind of stall midway down the field and you got a chance to make a field goal. We need those points, and that's critical to get wins.
And you wonder if they just made one of the two, how does the strategy change? You made a 34-yard field goal in his third attempt. How automatic or what percentage should a kicker like Reed or a college kicker, where should you be when you're outside of 45 yards? These two he missed were 48 and 49 yards. Those certainly aren't automatic ranges.
It's not for college. It's more they want you to make it more consistently, 50 and under in the NFL, and now they want you to make them 55 and and in. And it's hard. I would say it's probably should be around the 80% mark. That's hard to believe if they can even get close to that. it's more likely going to be around the 70%. But a lot of times with these kickers, when they get back and they start, it's like golf. You just want to kind of hit a nice smooth swing, and they try to overpower it, and they've got plenty of leg. You just got to go out there and make sure you hit a good ball, and that's what transitions to guys in the NFL is they know their legs strong enough. They don't go out there and try and overswing. The guys that stay long term in the league, they just go out there and make smooth swing after smooth swing, and the ball, they get good flight, and they're able to control it and make a lot of field goals.
So the harder you swing your driver doesn't mean the ball goes further? Is that not how it works?
It looks good on video and when everybody's putting it on YouTube, but no, it's not.
Same principle, huh? Hit the sweet spot.
Exactly.
Brett,
Absolutely. You got to hit the sweet spot. Yeah.
Brett, speaking of golf, how excited are you for the Masters next week?
Oh, I'm fired up. I really am. I know we talked about this before. Just I want to see how this course plays at this time of year. We've never got to see it. We always see it in the spring, so it's going to be interesting how the weather plays. Is something going to come through where it makes it a lot colder for these golfers? Or we've had ice storms before. You never know what's going to happen this time of year, so it's going to be exciting and see how these golfers take it and how the course reacts to their play.
Yeah, I want to know how much money Augusta National spent to make azaleas bloom in November, because I'm certain that they have figured out a way to make azaleas bloom in November somehow.
But they put up a lot of heaters, I bet.
Tents and heaters.
A little greenhouse.
Something. Yeah.
You mentioned heaters. I don't think there's going to be any smoking heaters that are going to be smoked on that golf course, even though there might be a golfer or two that wants to do just that. And I was thinking about this, Brett, when we had you on this morning, obviously paying Green Bay, just the frigid conditions, the coldness aspect, and you were talking about the kicking and stuff. I know that Mason Crosby is one of your good friends, and you mentioned good kickers. He's definitely been one of the best last decade or so. How much more, as we get colder and colder in Fayetteville, and we know how frigid it, and you know better than anyone how frigid it can get on those Saturday nights, how much is that going to impact the decision-making from Sam Pittman to attempt mid-to-long field goals behind the leg of A.J. Reed?
Well, it actually goes with punting, too. So the whole game plan gets different. As the weather gets colder, the balls get harder, and the balls don't travel as far, and then especially if you throw a little wind in there. So everything is a little bit different on the special team side, where your judgment's kind of they go into it on pregame. That's where they take their number, and they say, the special teams coach goes over to the head coach and says, where's he hitting them from? Where's his maxed out line at? And those numbers adjust depending on the weather. And as we get into these, when we're good, we're playing these, these night games, and it's a little bit cooler at night. And so it's going to be an adjustment that they're going to have to go on the fly. So don't be surprised if, we throw in an offense where everybody's like, why didn't we kick it in the game plan? Because, they've talked about it and they know what's going on. And particularly with the field goal percentage, you don't want them to go out there if they don't think they're going to make it.
Arkansas wasn't able to get to Kellen Mond on Saturday. No sacks, no quarterback hurries. What were you seeing in the protection? Obviously, A&M's got a really good offensive line. So what were you seeing there in Arkansas's inability to pressure Kellen Mond and get to him? And then conversely, what progressions are you seeing out of Arkansas's offensive line? What did you see in the trench play on Saturday?
Well, on defense, we weren't getting to him, and like you said, and that's the hard part. When you go into all these games and we've gotten the quarterbacks, we've gotten interceptions, our defense kind of looked like a new defense. So, we changed our philosophy, midweek last week. We had tried to recreate something after the bye week. So what they've got to get back to is, they've just got to get back to being the bully in the park. They've got to go out there and attack and not play like they're going to screw up. Just go out there and play and attack those gaps to try and get in, because we're going up against another good offensive line this week that they're going to have to get some pressure to help our D-backs. And that's one thing that you can do is when, the coverage sacks and stuff like that, where your D-backs everybody's playing off of each other. And then if you get some pressure in there, your defensive line and linebackers, they can kind of control the running game a little bit better. And that also frees up the defensive backfield. And on the offensive side, we ran the ball better. So obviously our offensive line blocked better. So those are progressions that we can take. And the better you run the ball, the better play action works. And hopefully we can just continue to build off that success. And, Boyd looked good. And we just got to continue to grow with our offensive line. And as they keep running, it's like we did, we talked early in the show about McFadden, they start getting confidence in each other. The running back figures out the hole's going to be there, and the offensive line knows that he's going to hit the hole hard, and it's a back-and-forth play that they've got to go through.
Brett Good with us here on the Morning Rush. Brett, when you look at Super Bowl-wise and teams you like, I know obviously you have a relationship with your buddy Aaron. They did not make any deals at the trade deadline. I know there are rumors floating around about Will Fuller. Apparently the Texans and the Packers couldn't agree on his value. Does Aaron have enough around him to get to another Super Bowl?
Before last week against the Vikings, I would have said yes. After last week, I'd say no. It's going to be very interesting. They play Thursday night against the 49ers, who ran through them in the NFC Championship game last year, and they gave up 4 touchdowns to Dalvin Cook on Sunday. So until they solidify that on defense, Aaron can't put up 40. And I don't know that, they're down running backs, 2 running backs to COVID, 1 to an ankle injury. So we're going on a running back who had, I think, 10 carries total in his career, and another guy that's on the practice squad right now with 5 carries total in his career. So if you can't run the ball in the cold weather, you're not going to have a chance. That was one of the greatest things of our Super Bowl run. You look at Starks. We got on a run there at the end of our season where we started running the ball. Well, when you can run it and get a few yards, like I said with Arkansas, it opens up the play-action pass. And when you can open up the play-action pass with Aaron and, Devontae on the outside, and guys, they got to catch the ball. So as of right now, I'd say no. I'd say they're out of it. I think they might make I don't know if they make the NFC Championship game unless they improve. If they come through and they stop San Francisco from running down their throat, I think they'll have a chance, but they've got to get more consistent.
Speaking of championship games, we were discussing this on Monday. Give us a couple of teams you like in each side. Two NFC teams, say 2 AFC teams you like right now to kind of be there at the end and compete to be in the Super Bowl.
Well, I think you got the Chiefs, and you have to have the Steelers because they're off to their best start ever. And then what the Steelers did to Baltimore, I think people have kind of figured out Baltimore as of right now. And on the NFC side, I think New Orleans is up there, and Seattle they're kind of on the edge, and Tampa Bay with Tom, and so it depends on Seattle and Tampa Bay which team's coming out to play, because Tampa Bay comes out hot and they get a bunch of sacks, and then next week it's kind of a dud. So with the addition of Antonio Brown to Tampa Bay, if he can stay just out of the media and stay humbled, I think they've got a chance to make a run because they're set up to be a complete team with all the weapons they have on offense, Mike Evans, and then all the, you got the defensive pass rush, with Sue and Pierre-Paul and everybody back there in the backfield creating plays. So I would go New Orleans and Tampa, which they're coming out of the same division. So one of them's going to win it and one of them's going to be a wild card. Plus, we're adding NFL teams to the playoffs. So it's going to be an interesting year of how that all plays out.
Who plays their best in November and December? That's what's going to count. Brett Good's with us every Wednesday on the Morning Rush, former Razorback, Super Bowl champion with the Green Bay Packers. Brett, you're now part of the team at Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions. Tell everybody what they can expect when they call you at 651-2292.
Well, I'm going to pick up the phone. You're not going to have to dial 0 or anything like that. It's my direct cell phone. And, we're going to give you a family-oriented plan that fits right for you on employee benefits, property and casualty, self-health. We do, I can do your house. I can do your auto. So we have a very big range of things we can do. We're working on a 401k for a fella, and we can do payroll. So we can do everything on the independent side. We have multiple carriers, and we'd love to have the opportunity to work with you.
Plus, you mentioned auto, life insurance, anything personal, too, that someone might need away from a business as well.
Absolutely. We'd love to take your house. If you got even if you want just a personal umbrella policy, I can write that. But that way we're in a Sue happy world, so you got to make sure that you're protected.
There you go. 479-651-2292 for Brett with with Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions. That's 651-2292. All right, have a good week, buddy. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good one. Go Hogs.
Do you think it's cold in Fayetteville, Arkansas in the winter? Yeah. I can't imagine what it's like to play in Green Bay and those blistering snowstorms.
I have showed up to the golf course more than once with pants on, a sweater or some kind of pullover, like this time of year, November, December, to play golf with Brett, and he's in shorts. Yeah, I mean, shorts and a short sleeve shirt oftentimes. So he is conditioned for the cold conditions, living so many years in Green Bay. Weather's
been weird here in Arkansas the last couple days. Like, you'll wake up and it'll be 30, low 40s, and by the end of the day it's 70. And so I wear shorts when I anticipate the weather getting better. But to your point, do you stop playing golf? I know it's hard during football season, but I know some of you listening to the program are very much avid golfers. I love golf. I suck at golf, and we're going to be playing on Saturday morning prior to Arkansas game day. Got an 8 a.m. tee time, I think. But I know there's some people that there's a cutoff point. It's like, I can't play after November 1st. I can't play after this. Is there a cutoff point for you where you just stop playing because of the weather, the inclement weather that might be a little too cold for golf?
I used to play 5 times a week, and then with kids and family and job and everything else, I hadn't played 5 times this year. And honestly, when I have free time now, I would rather probably go trout fish. If I can get away, I want to go trout fishing.
Turn it into clay.
Well, I mean, it's just what we evolve in life into different interests. But when I do get to play golf, October is like one of the best months to do anything in our state, including golf. And the courses are great in this time of the year. So no, there's not a cutoff. I mean, I've played in the dead of winter before. So unless there's snow on the ground, you can play. But I am past the point where I enjoy golf enough. I'm going to be miserable while I'm doing it.
So we had Stu Gotts on Fantasy Football Sunday last week, and we asked him, hey, what would it get to take you to come to Fayetteville? And I was like, do y'all have golf over there? And it's like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, if Stu Gotts of the Dan Le Batard Show came to Arkansas, what golf course would you take him to?
Well, I mean, if you could get on a lotion, that would be number one.
See, that was my initial
thinking. That's harder to do than, I mean, it sounds, well, you just go play a lotion. Well, you don't just go play.
Yeah, I thought you had Warren on speed dial.
Yeah.
Not Warren Buffett, Warren Stevens.
Yeah, exactly. Just call Warren up and get on. But that would be number one, but impossible to get on. So the next choice would be what? The Blessings? I mean, it's hosted NCAA championships, so the Blessings would probably be another one. Chenal would be. Maybe you're going to talk about quality. But I'm going to tell you, Big Creek up at Mountain Home. You're not going to go wrong there.
B in Clarksville, Texas, and Red Apple Inn in Heber. Have you ever played that?
I have not played that one, but I've seen pictures, and it's a great track. So. Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of great golf courses in this state. And I'm going to tell you, just across the line, what Johnny Morris has built there, if you've seen any of that on TV, that the courses he's built there near the Branson Airport, the new Tiger Woods course and all that, those are world-class championship courses.
I don't anticipate me getting I'm more of a middle-tier type of course guy because I don't know if I'm good enough or allowed to be on the top-tier courses that Arkansas has to offer.
You know, we just got some great terrain in this state that lends itself to some great courses.
Natural state, baby.
But we also got some great trout fishing streams too. And as Bill points out, he doesn't get mad when he goes trout fishing. You don't lose anything generally when you go trout fishing.
It's an excellent point. I walked into our garage yesterday and I noticed that my roommate's driver was broken. And I said, what happened here, buddy? Because it's like Ben Guerin, hole number 4 happened. So
oak tree.
So it's just one of those things. And it was one of those things. I have to this day, I have not ever intentionally broken a club. And I snapped my driver in half trying to hit the ball. That shows you my golf acumen. But I have thrown one of my 6 irons in the pond after the golf ball went into the pond. So did the iron.
You whirly birded it? Did you go in and get it?
No. John Daly that sucker. You know that I don't know what course he's on. John Daly just picks up his club and throws that in. But that's John Daly, and then I'm me.
A good craftsman never blames his tools. So.
Oh, it's 100% on me. There's no blame to be placed except on me on the golf course. So I'm terrible, but it's the one sport I appreciate playing that I suck at.
I've reached a point in golf where I enjoy the company and just the being out there. My expectations to actually be good, but then you hit like those 3 good shots, and then
keeps you coming back.
He's in there somewhere, and then it just ruins everything. That's what happens. Hey, if you're making plans to go somewhere and watch the game Saturday night, you might want to think about 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. They got a great menu with a lot of great items you can check out. We love the 906 wings. You can choose the black and blue wings or the traditional buffalo wings. Great thing to munch on throughout the game. Great sandwiches on the menu, some great desserts, and you'll always find top shelf wines and liquors, and of course the great cigars at 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. They'll have the game on Saturday night. Great music every night as well. Check them out on Facebook for a full menu of that as well. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Sample, indulge, and escape at 906 Garrison Avenue, downtown Fort Smith.
Coming up, we will continue on the Arkansas-Tennessee combo.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
I made a pizza with pork rinds and sour cream.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
the Toyota Tundra and Toyota Tacoma. Load them up with all your favorite stuff.
Don't forget those sleeping bags.
And take off on your next epic weekend. Toyota trucks are made to go anywhere.
Hey, help me with these ATVs.
And do all the things you love doing.
Got one.
And when your day winds down, one thing is for sure.
What a day. Let's come back next weekend.
Absolutely nothing sounds better than an amazing weekend made possible by the virtually indestructible Toyota Tundra and Tacoma. Visit your local Toyota dealer or go to buyatoyota.com to find a great deal on the Go Anywhere, Do Anything 2020 Toyota Tundra or Tacoma and start making the most of your weekends. Toyota, let's go places.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Craving prime rib this morning? Hardee's introduces the new prime rib and fried egg biscuit. We took tender prime rib and put it on a fluffy made-from-scratch biscuit. Yeah, that's right. We made prime rib for breakfast. Premium, juicy, sliced prime rib for breakfast. And then we topped it with a freshly cracked fried egg and melted Swiss. Why? We knew you needed it, that's why. The new prime rib and fried egg biscuit from Hardee's. Feed your happy. Available for a limited time during breakfast hours at participating restaurants. Price and participation may vary.
Oh my gourd, folks. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. This month, I want to say thanks. So I'm on a mission to make car buying easy as pie and help you snag a sweet deal on one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. This month, you could drive a nicer, newer car and save up to $4,150. That's a lot of dough. So if your old ride is flaky, crusty, burnt, or rusty, don't let it squash your happiness. Trade it for a nicer, newer car now, even if you still owe money, and save up to $4,150. Plus, my For the People approval process makes financing your nicer, newer car easy as pie. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Deals this delicious won't last long, so visit us today at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
They say, trust the process. But if enjoyment isn't part of that process, don't trust the process. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
New Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
A hard seltzer with a hint of fruit flavor?
Yep.
Can I try one?
Yep.
That tastes great.
Told ya.
Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beers, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Are your real estate investments being properly managed? Are you sending a check or cashing a check each month? If you're tired of your current property managers, then call Trinity Multifamily. Trinity will qualify your tenants and leases, inspect your properties, and take care of maintenance and provide you with web-based access to current financial reports, leases, and pictures of your property. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Franks off play action, pumps once, wants to go into the end zone, got a man, it's complete, touchdown Arkansas! Devion Warren was wide open, and the Razorbacks reclaim the lead.
Streaming live at hitthatline.com.
So we put out a poll question earlier this morning. What radio presidential team would you vote for? Richardson Kraft, Elson Jenkins, Elson Travis, or Ruskin and Arns? We will get into that conversation coming up here on the Morning Rush. What radio presidential team you would most likely enjoy? And you don't have to just go off that. You can mix and match. If there's certain candidates you think would pair well together, you're more than welcome to do that. So
clearly the names are backwards on our ticket. So
I think you want the face of the organization to be with the much better, younger, more controversial, younger employee. I would say
we're going to stand. You're not even constitutionally eligible. So.
We're leading the pack right now, so we obviously stand a chance. We're leading the pack.
Despite the ticket being backwards, we're leading. Yeah.
Well, listen, it's like I told you earlier. It's the man. You're the man behind the scenes that does all the work. I'm just the one that takes credit for it. So.
No truer words have ever been spoken, folks.
I'm just being honest. All right, let's welcome in Larry Rath of Rath Auto Resources. Larry, good morning, man. What's going on?
Good morning, guys. Hey, Tommy, that kid's got you right where he wants you, man.
Yeah, no, he thinks he does. You got to feed him enough rope. Just feed him some rope. So.
He's got you in the box, man. Hey, folks, Rath Auto Resources, a brand new month going on over here, and buying a nicer, newer car is easy as pie. I mean, we're making it simple at Rath Auto Resources. We're saying thanks to our customers with terrific deals. Up to $3,400 off on these nicer, newer cars, folks. You can't find a better car. These Rath Road Ready cars, they're hand-picked. When I say hand-picked, I buy them. We go all over the country to find these cars. We bring them in. We run them through our Meineke Car Care Center. Those guys do a terrific job doing a full inspection. We take care of the things that need to be taken care of. Through our detail department, Sean out there in detail has been with us for 17 years. And when we say detail, he understands the meaning of that word. These cars come out of there, and I mean they're the nicest used cars you're ever going to find. They have to go through another inspection. When they get through that, they get their sticker, the Rath Road Ready sticker. And, folks, that's what you want to look for. When you see that sticker on the car, you know you're looking at the finest premium pre-owned car or truck you're going to find anywhere, only available at Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith and Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. On the new Mitsubishi side, great things going on there, folks. Up to $3,500 in savings on the Outlander Sports, our best seller. Terrific little SUV. Lots of fun, great looking. We've got the Outlander as well with third row seating. The little Mirages with 43 miles to a gallon. So some terrific products there. Savings up to $3,500 on the Mitsubishis. And the Meineke Car Care Centers, they're taking care of everything else. Buy 3, get 1 free on all tires right now, half off brakes. And you can call ahead and set up your free winter-ready inspection in either one of the Meineke Car Care Centers. So lots of great things going on. We're saying thanks all month. It's easy as pie. Get you a nicer, newer car at Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale, or take care of the car you have in either one of our Meineke Car Care Centers. Check us out online, rathauto.com.
Easy as pie. Pumpkin pie this month, right?
That's right. That's
Thanksgiving.
Right.
Cool Whip on
we
top.
tied that all. You see what we did there?
Yeah. I bet Sean, your detail guy,
Sean. Yeah.
I bet he even knows how to get that crud out of the bottom of your cup holder that's been in there about 6 years.
Listen, he can get that French fry smell out of a minivan. He can get that, those things that they're problems. And Sean
like
knows
the
how
French
to
fry
take
smell. Yeah, the French fry smell's all right. We can put that in
there.
Yeah,
after a while it gets old.
All right. That's all at Rath Auto Resources, Fort Smith, and in Springdale. Easy as pie with Larry. Larry, have a great Wednesday.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good one. And folks, come to see us.
Got a text in here from Jimbo and Hackett, and we've kind of stay within the radio realm, but you're welcome to text in your favorite Arkansas sports media member. He's on the Dudley Dawson, Tom Murphy ticket, in 2020. Not a bad ticket to be on if you want to be on the Hutchinson, Chavanel, West, Biddy. I'm trying to think, just go through these media outlets real quick on the top of my head. The Carol, what's Alyssa? I almost said Orange. I guess she still goes by Orange. Alyssa Radler. I mean, there's a bunch of tickets that you could be on this great.
Let me tell you what the Kraft Richardson ticket's going to bring you here.
We gotta
I'm going to flip-flop the names here.
Lay out.
I got my first 100 days laid out. First thing we're going to do is we're going to have congressional hearings into Kentucky basketball. We're going to get to the bottom of what Calipari's been doing all these years.
You're here.
I mean, I've had enough. You've had enough. The American people have had enough. We'll get to the bottom in our first 100 days with what's going on with Kentucky basketball. Secondly, we are going to make Thursday and Friday of the NCAA tournament federal holidays.
Amen.
And we're going to get the Super Bowl moved to Saturday. It may take a year or two, but we're going to have Super Bowl Saturday so that we can sober up on Sunday. These are our platform points.
I think we just won the election right there.
I think it could be a tidal wave here.
What are
you? What color?
What are you and Phil running on?
Pigskin tidal wave.
You have to tune in to have time to find out.
Yeah, well,
you don't even know.
I ain't telling you nothing. Punk.
See, you don't have a platform when you're not willing to state your platform.
Yeah.
Clearly, our opposition is hiding behind their lack of any approach at all.
Oh.
So not willing to state their stances.
Do you care to counter that, Senator Jenkins?
Senator,
you're welcome to counter that. Well, he just made an assertion at you. You're care to counter it.
I'm the enforcer. Yeah, we've been told this. I'm the enforcer to Phil Elson's mouth.
He is the congressional whip.
I'm the congressional whip. Yes, exactly.
He's going to make sure we get the votes we need to get this Kentucky situation
You're damn right.
handled.
Absolutely.
That's what we're going to do. And I'll tell you another thing. This may not come in the first 100 days, but we're going to end this deal where the Big Ten doesn't have 10 teams. We're going to get them a new name, and the Big 12 has 10 teams. We're going to end all this confusion too. That's all coming in our first year in office, all right?
Brandon in Paris texting. He's on the Kraft Eddie and Clarksville ticket.
That's all coming in our first 200 days in office, all right? All of these major things. Hey, have you checked your mortgage rate lately? A lot of times people forget about their rate, and when the loans close, you just start making payments, and it's auto-drafted, and you moved on. Well, your friends at Arvest Bank would love the opportunity to review your current loan, no matter who you're with. Arvest's competitive rates might be able to lower your monthly payment, shorten the term on your loan, or do both. And if you haven't checked rates, 15-year rates are below 3 right now. So check what you're paying and call Arvest. They service 99% of the loans they originate. Call our buddy Randy, 479-573-1127, or download the Home For Me app to your mobile device and search for a Arvest loan officer near you. That's Randy at 479-573-1127. Arvest Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
This is former Arkansas football coach Ken Hatfield, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunity, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Breen RV in Van Buren is having their last sale of the year. Despite COVID-19's best effort, we are still getting in new trailers in weekly, and they are marked down as soon as they hit the lot. Browse Breen RV's selection of Forest River, Dutchman, Thor, and Coachman products and pick out the best fit for you. You can buy with ease knowing that your new purchase comes with free maintenance for life. Once you're ready to hibernate for the winter, bring your camper into us for deluxe winterization specials, starting at just $99. Breen RV will work on all makes and models, and don't forget that all their accessories are installed for free. The Breen RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business.
The all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV. In this moment, who has your back? Do you know the name of your insurance agent? Does your insurance agent know your name? Or would you call a 1-800 number that connects you with who? Another state? Another country? Get a local independent insurance agent with Auto Owners Insurance. Someone you can call when the bad stuff happens. In this moment, get an agent who will protect you in that moment. Call Kohler & Green Insurance in Fort Smith, 484-9888, or in Van Buren, 474-9888, and online at kohlergreen.com.
It's time to plan the Christmas party for your business or family. And the place to make it a special and memorable time is at Doe's Eat Place in Fort Smith. Award-winning steaks and atmosphere, along with the largest selections of adult beverages in the River Valley, await your evening. When you think about what to get that hard-to-impress boss or family member, gift certificates from Doe's are sure to impress. Don't delay. Call Doe's Eat Place at 784-9111. That's 784-9111. Doe's Eat Place, open 5 till 9 Tuesday through Thursday and 5 till 10 Friday and Saturday.
Wave Rural Connect is bringing state-of-the-art fiber internet, TV, and phone service to your home. Get amazingly fast fiber internet as low as $49.95 per month. TV packages start at $32.95. Fiber phone service starts at $29.95. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC to find out if we're installing in your area. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Tri-Hill Turf offers the highest quality turf and pest services. Hey, you say those are big words. Well, let's see. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has a company agronomist, state and nationally certified technicians, free soil testing, and they even have precision GPS guided application equipment. Now that's high tech. For over 30 years, Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has used the latest application technology, and they strive for turf and pest excellence. They are your local turf and pest experts. Call the local team at 782-0404. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest.
Divorce is never easy. Many times problems continue to arise long after the divorce is over. If you're dealing with a high conflict custody or visitation issue, you need an attorney that handles those specific type of cases. Call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partners for immediate assistance with your situation. Kevin Hickey Law Partners, able to handle high conflict custody cases all over the state of Arkansas and other states. Check out kevinhickeylaw.com or call 479-434-2414 in Fort Smith and 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas.
Always get more at Orr.
We always put the customer first at Orr Chevrolet in Fort Smith. Since 1924, the Orr family of dealerships has grown based on one simple principle. Give the customer more money for their trades and give them a lower price on their new vehicle. It's a simple concept, really, but one that very few dealers honor anymore. Hey, we know you paid a lot of money for your vehicle, and Orr Chevrolet wants to pay you the maximum amount for it today. Then we'll give you an awesome price on a new Chevrolet. But we're not done giving you more. Included with any new vehicle sold, Orr Chevy will also give you a lifetime powertrain warranty, 2 years of free maintenance, and free car washes for life. So come get a lower price and more money for your trade today at Orr Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive in Fort Smith and 24/7 at OrChevyFS.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You always get more at Orr.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Mathis calls for the ball, wants to throw, fires, intercepted at the 5-yard line. Arkansas with the interception, hitting the turf right away after the pick. That's Monteri Brown with the interception.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
How does Arkansas bounce back against Tennessee? We're going to get into this conversation shortly. Your takes, your opinions, 877-377-6963. We'll also get into one of your favorite, if not your favorite segments, What's Your Beef Wednesday, coming up here on the Morning Rush.
You know, if you're going through a divorce, it's one of the worst times of your life, and it's never easy. But many times the problems crop up long after the divorce is over. One common problem is an ex-spouse dealing with them over custody and visitation issues with your children. If you're dealing with these high conflict issues and you need an attorney that handles these specific cases, call our friend Kevin Hickey at Kevin Hickey Law Partners. They can give you immediate assistance with your situation. Kevin Hickey Law Partners handles high-conflict custody cases all over the country and, of course, all over Arkansas as well. Any child custody problems that you're dealing with, give them a call, and they would love to talk with you and sit down with you. Call Brad Hall or Kevin Hickey today, 479-434-2414 in the River Valley, or in Northwest Arkansas, 479-802-6560. Check out their new website, artriallawyers.com. That's artriallawyers.com.
The key to this football game on Saturday night in 3-day is to make Jarrett Garantano beat you. And if Harrison Bailey comes in, make him beat you too. Because if you give one of those guys all day, or you just let them hand off the football and pick up 6, 7, 8-yard chunk yardage plays, then you're going to lose on Saturday night. The defense was given, Tennessee was given a blueprint how to succeed against Arkansas. That's pound the football down the throat. Now, passing teams so far against the Razorbacks have not found a lot of success, but we saw the blueprint that's laid out how you beat the Arkansas defense. Can Barry Odom adjust in this week? It's going to be a massive key on Saturday night.
Yeah, and what did this defense learn? As they've analyzed the tape and looked at it, what did you learn about trying to play a more balanced team that wants to run and throw? How do you defend that? How do you scheme? Do you have the personnel you need, and where can you put them to be better? I mean, I'm sure as Odom and his staff have looked at the tape, they've maybe come up with some new thoughts on how to get more pressure on the quarterback. So I'll be interested as they move forward. What looks different with this defense? What did they learn out of this game that will be different from now on?
Yeah, and that's there's going to be a variety of different things that occur on Saturday night. I'm just curious I think this Arkansas football team is going to show up. I don't think this is going to be a blowout of either proportion. I think it's going to be a really close football game that Arkansas ultimately wins, but you got to be able to pressure Garantano and make him make mistakes.
Yep, and so to do that, you got to force them to do what? Throw the football, and they've been a team that's been more balanced in rushing attempts. They do run the football some. Let me get these stats back out over here and look at their first 5 games. Their rushing attempt numbers: 33 rush attempts against South Carolina for 133 yards. Against Missouri, 51 rushing attempts for 232 yards and 4 touchdowns. Against Georgia, didn't go well. 27 attempts, lost a yard total in that game. Got nowhere. 41 for 175 against Kentucky and 38 for 139 against Alabama. So this isn't a team that's only going to rush it 15 or 20 times and throw it 40. They're going to be far more balanced than you might think.
We will get into What's Your Beef Wednesday coming up here on the Morning Rush. You want to send yours in, 877-377-6963. And it's a perfect time to tell you about our friends at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. One of the great things about me going to Northwest Arkansas this weekend is I can stop by CJ's. I'll be eating lunch there on Sunday, begin me a double-double. I'm going to try their new caramel milkshake, which I'm really excited to try. And if you haven't been, you got to go. 2 great locations, the one in Weddington in Fayetteville and the one off Arkansas Avenue, exit 81 in Russellville.
Ate there Friday in Russellville.
There you go.
It was good.
It always is.
They're exactly the same.
It always is. They have 2 great locations, and you're going to get the same quality food. They are delivering through DoorDash at the Fayetteville location, takeout, curbside, to go, drive-through, pickup, and then also dine in at both locations. So take advantage of that. I know I'm really excited about this weekend.
So Friday we were headed down I-40. We called about Knoxville, headed east, and they had it piping hot and ready to go when we got there.
So the way to go. Get
awesome.
the double-double. Whatever you get there, it's going to be fantastic. Homemade chips are also to die for. CJ's.
I haven't tried those yet.
You need to. With the
Have
fries.
you notice they have a salad on the menu?
They do.
I hadn't either. I just kind of glazed. They have a hamburger salad, though. You can get their patty. They chop them up, put them on. I guess I need to try that sometime, but I hadn't. I just keep going to the old number 1 or number 2. So
nothing wrong with that. CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best. And speaking of the best, it's time to get into a What's Your Beef Wednesday.
What is wrong with you?
I want to complain.
I'm complaining. I want to complain about complaining.
I want to complain.
It really pisses me off today to simply listen to people whine and complain.
I'm angry. I'm spitting angry. I'm like a tornado of anger, swirling about.
My heart rate is dangerously high right now.
I'm complaining because not enough people tickle, hug, or smile.
I'm so mad I could eat ball bearings and crap BBs.
It's time for What's Your Beef Wednesday.
I'll let you start. Where's your beef this morning?
Mine's with Big Ten football this morning and just the projections. You know, we know what their policies are on return to play when having COVID. It's a 3-week deal, and there's teams shutting down. They only had an 8-week season or 8-game season to begin with in their championship game. And this idea that, you know, if games are lost, and maybe it's of no fault to Ohio State, and even Wisconsin still kind of factored in, this idea that teams in the Big Ten, and I'm reading this more, I'm hearing this more, me and you even had this discussion earlier in the week, if Ohio State only plays 5 games this year, maybe 6, that they should still be one of the 4 teams standing at the end of the year. I got real beef with that, man. I don't know what the minimum number should be, but it's more than 5 or... Well, watch, like the rest of the country. Watch it on TV. 5 games is not enough, dude, to get you into the college football playoff.
It's no result of their own. There's no fault of their own.
There's a lot of things in life that were no fault of my own, but I still had to bear the burden of it. So
you would rather have a Oklahoma State or a BYU or such much lesser talented team compete in the college?
Tested team, yeah. I mean, I just don't think it's equitable or fair.
Life's
if
not
we're not
fair.
gonna,
You just said that.
I understand. Doesn't mean I can't be pissed about it. Doesn't mean I can't be mad about it. I understand it. It's not going to go my way, but that's not the point of this segment, right? The point of this segment is, what are you mad about? What are you upset about? Well, I just don't think that's equitable or right. But once again, let me tell you, if it was Wisconsin, and if Ohio State had lost a game or two, or it was another team that didn't have the name Ohio State in that league, the conversation wouldn't be the same. It's because it's Ohio State is the reason this conversation is going the way it is, and I don't like it.
Well, outside of the blowout loss to Clemson, Ohio State has competed pretty heavily in the college football playoff. I mean, you win it all back in 2014 when you blow out Alabama, then you beat Oregon, and I mentioned the Clemson domination, but then you compete against Clemson this past season. Nothing would, and Justin Fields is playing like the second or first best quarterback in college football. Nothing would lead me to believe that this team would not be able to compete.
That's not part of my argument.
You're just talking about the.
That's not part of my argument, is whether or not they could compete. My part of the argument is, did you do enough to pass the test? That's like going into a college course and I'm only going to do half of the exams, half of the classwork, but I still get the same A that you get when you did all the work. It just doesn't seem right.
Well, some would debate that that's already the case playing in the SEC compared to the Big Ten. So, I mean, some would say that, but I mean, I'll differ with you on this. A lot of times I'll agree with your beefs, but I mean, Ohio State's done enough over the years, and Justin Fields just
this isn't over the years. This is about this team this year.
Okay. Well,
I mean, that's the other thing. We can't. It's not a historical perspective conversation.
But
it's a snapshot.
It shouldn't be, but it is. That's the point. And
it shouldn't be. And that's my point to this argument is, if it was anyone other than Ohio State, if Indiana was 5-0, you think they would? Well, you know, they did enough. They played 5 games. It's not their fault. Do you think anybody else would have the opinion if Indiana was 5-0 and Ohio State was 4-1? But they hadn't. But the one loss Ohio State wasn't to Indiana. You think that would be the opinion? Of course not.
They're not going to just play 5 games, though. They'll get at least. So what's the cap off then? If you're going to make that, what's the cap off for Ohio
Well, they started
State?
their season. To me, it's 7 or 8 games.
Pick one. You got to if you're going to
7. I'll be lenient.
So
and say 7.
If they play in 7 games and go undefeated, you think they should be allowed into the college football playoff?
I think that should be the bare minimum to even be considered.
Okay, but they'd have to go undefeated, in your opinion.
I think 3 of the 4 teams are going to have to be undefeated to get in anyway, right?
I don't know. This is going to be a weird year in college football.
Yeah.
So do you think they have to go undefeated?
Well, then that may not hold up. I mean, a lot of that's going to be determined this weekend with Clemson and Notre Dame, right?
Notre Dame's not winning that game. And if Orange thinks otherwise, he's a fool.
At least 2 of the teams in there will be undefeated, I would think. Who knows? I mean, it's 2020. Who knows, dude?
Weird year in college football. I would say my beef is this morning. I saw this Saved by the Bell. For those who enjoyed watching Saved by the Bell growing up with Mark Paul Gosselaar, I think I'm saying that name right, Tiffany Amber Thiessen, and Mario Lopez and others. They're making it. I just hate reboots. Like reboots for the most part. Now, you like Cobra Kai, don't you, Jenkins? That's Phil and Maddie
Yeah.
T. Well, they've said, and I've heard good things about that. For the most part, when you reboot a television show based off of it, the second rendition of that is just atrocious.
You can never rebuild Camelot.
No, you can't. And it irritates me. Like, I enjoyed Boy Meets World, and they're doing Girl Meets World on Disney Channel. Saved by the Bell. I'm trying to think of other like TV shows that have been redone. For the most part, they're awful. They are just straight up
Most
awful.
movie sequels are
Not
awful.
as good.
There are a
Yeah.
few exceptions, but generally, number 2 of anything is like number 2.
It's just not that good. It's just not that good when it comes to this conversation. So I would say that's my beef. It's not just that, but just any reboot in general when it comes to beef this morning. Hey, we made it through without a single call about politics. Thank you, listeners. We appreciate that.
Well, I mean, this is your respite. This is your safe haven. This is the place you can go where we're just going to talk sport.
Here are my thoughts on everything going on right now when it comes to. I say that it's really always in Sunny in Philadelphia's thoughts when it comes to this.
Every year, there's nothing you can do about taxes.
You guys might want to think about voting every once in a while.
What has voting ever done? Why are you coming down? Voting? Who am I supposed to vote for? Am I supposed to vote for the Democrat who's going to blast me in the or the Republican who's blasting my Politics is just all one big blast.
You're gonna
get your
blast.
nationwide blast.
No more. You guys are such morons. If you knew anything at all about politics, you would know that is not true.
Deandra, it's just some jerk getting into office so he can get out for the payday.
Happy What's Your Beef Wednesday.
Oh, it's going to be an interesting day.
Interesting day. For Tommy Kraft, Matt Jenkins, I'm Ty Richardson. Recruiting Thursday coming up tomorrow. Tom Murphy, 7:20. Richard Davenport, 8:05. And then Eric Ainge, former Tennessee quarterback, joins us on Friday at 7:15.
Make a hot spring spa part of your day-to-day routine and discover what it means to get more out of your day.